thrown into the mix there. The others still waiting to fully prove that they can continue to develop in the season. But I'm curious to see what the prep looks like, if there's going to be anything new for us here today. Do they change it to playing what? Do they try a different composition? Do they go for some crazy map picks? I've got so many questions, and we're only a couple seconds away from the answers. Break the huddles. Go to your seats. I want to see the maps.
Sit down.
He wants to know. 𝐿-𝐾𝐿 is so expressive. I'm curious about the team comps as well. I know Gen G isn't particularly experimental, unless it's been tried and tested. Team Secret, do you expect any unusual team comps?
Generally, no. They also kind of run.
They're pretty stock
standard stuff, pretty safe, and that's what makes both of these teams so good. Is they're very comfortable in their roles for the most part. They're very comfortable with their agents. Okay, so yeah, Pearl is going to be eliminated here by Team Secret. So the real question for me is, what is going to be this first pick for Gen G? It's going to be Haven.
Okay.
Doesn't surprise me a whole lot. This is, again, a comfort pick for Korean teams and players. So I could see them going to that. Okay, you want to go Fracture?
I mean, I think this is fine overall. I mean, Secret, they recently beat Rex on it. Granted, it was close, but they're looking at that 13-4 loss for Gen G versus DFM on Fracture, and they're like, oh yeah, you're exploitable on this map.
Certainly, my only concern is Team Secret has yet to win a map pick. So one of their they've lost both of their map picks.
They are 0-2 on that.
Yeah, Lotus is the decider. That's quite interesting.
I'm sorry, we're not counting lock-in in that.
No,
but even then it would only be one.
Yeah, I'm talking about just here in Pacific. Yeah.
Welcome to the stream.
But,
and watch
it's been pretty interesting. Like, once again, like the win rates and loss rates for map picks overall is actually almost 50-50.
Yeah. But here's my dream. Here's my hope, my dream for Haven. King Killjoy, TS Sova, Meteor Jet, God-Dead Breach, Sylvan on Omen. I want to see that swap. He's played Initiative for so long, but it's going to be Sylvan. It's the exact same comp. Just swap the roles, please. Yeah. I want to see Sylvan on smokes. He's so at home with it.
Do you hear that, Sylvan? Switch it up. It's not too late.
I'm going to have a word with 𝐿 after this.
Yeah. No, I do really want to get his opinion, and because it's just not that TS is bad at smokes at all. He's really, really good.
Yes.
It's just Sylvan is, I don't know. Maybe something's changed. Maybe
his
Sylvan
career?
is. Yeah, he's been solid on the initiators. Again, they haven't lost with him in the lineup yet on any of the 4 maps that he's played. So certainly, I think there's a lot of potential with Sylvan in the initiator role. The only difference, of course, between these is going to be the Raze versus the Jet here with Jeremy. To me, that's more of a stylistic difference than most things. I do like the Jet a little bit better for control of the long angles, especially long A. It gives you, I think, a little bit better overall ability to dictate the spacing in that part of the map because of the dashes. But, it works well for Secret, so I don't really knock it. Jeremy's
God, that has tissue in his hand.
Oh, he's got it in his hand, so he's ready to go in case.
He's ready to plug and play.
Okay. But then I am much more comfortable and relieved.
All
right, we're ready to kick off game 1. We have William and Quack, and I have a question for controller Quack. Is it safe to be carrying those toxins into the arena?
Yeah, I definitely think it's safe to carry those toxins. We want things to get a little bit toxic. We want things to heat up for sure.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a little bit of spice.
You saw Jesse bench those classes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, first of all, let's talk about that. Okay, so the tissues in the nose. We talked about the plug and play, and then Team Secret looking sharp. Right, we've seen a little bit of a style change, both in terms of the hairstyles and whatnot coming in from Team Secret. But I just want to go back to what 𝐿-𝐾𝐿 was talking about, right? We'd love to see Sylvan on the smoke. Yes, as someone who also got to watch Sylvan throughout Challengers Korea the past few years, that sounds great. But we used to say this about players like Buzz and Mako, and look at how well they're doing on all these other agents. Of course, Buzz back on some of that duelist duty in certain other compositions. Sure. Yeah, but I think we still got to give some time for Sylvan's initiators here.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're playing right now. Definitely looking to still enable and support Meteor in a lot of this because he is that kingmaker for Gen G. Still, though, I mean, very similar basically the same compositions. The only difference being the Jet and the Raze. It's these two teams who are so kind of just, I think, actually just similar. That's no other word to describe this.
Yeah, I mean, they're very structured, right? They revolve around a lot of set plays. I mean, I think the biggest difference between the Raze and the Jett, the Raze a little bit more self-sufficient, whereas Gen G telegraphing that once again they will focus on setting up Meteor now. Team Secret, a very common push out of B. They're holding control of A main. So both teams are very well aware of what just happened, right? C-side is free. So Gen G, they purposely leave Sylvan behind, but now he's trapped. 1v5.
Easy pickings for Team Secret, but this is so much information and a lot of initiative for Gen G because now they have more space. They can go into Garage, they can go back into C-Link, and they're actually clearing out Defender spawn as well.
Yeah, just making sure they have a way out if they need to regroup, but Team Secret is fast on this retake.
So is King, though, with the frenzy. Instantly a double kill, but trapped on top of Locks. It's up to Meteor to come in for this, but he can't quite do it. TS
1v1.
Still able to flick back and forth, down to 14 HP, but he lands the headshot. What a flick, what a clutch, and this is just the first round.
TS
Sylvan ने 69 damage दिया था, इसके लिए जीते. Team Secret.
For Gen G here, I mean, it was looking pretty dire as a retake came in. I mean, of course, big props to King as well, holding down for 2. Right by Lumber on the side of Site C. I mean, he's so clean with that at the long range, but then TS. Just look at that awareness, and this is something we're starting to see more and more often as all these teams try to pick up the best players, you know, across all the VCTs with just individual instinct, right? Waiting for that peak across on the other side.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Not that much analysis to go off of. That was just a pure gunfight, and TS knew how to play it. He knew which position to hold. Dubstep peeking out kind of exposed himself in a second, but now, Marshals, Spectres, Bulldog on the side of Gen G. And they're kind of trying to bait out these pushes from Team Secret.
Yeah, so Team Secret initially, they're Jill peeking on C, just trying to, you know, kind of make Gen G think it's okay to just rush over to A. Like, okay, it's probably a stack over on C, but of course they instantly push out. They've actually used a lot of their, you know, utility here on the side of Team Secret just to try to get some damage. And surely his corner is checked. I mean, Gen G knows that this area was all given up.
They have to be, but one right click could make all the difference. It kind of landed, but not quite finishing off the job. So that's going to be up to Jeremy now with a lone shorty. He goes in close, but runs out of ammo, so King makes it an instant trade. This is A site under Gen G's control.
Yeah, Jeremy just pushing forward to try to pick up the weapon that he gets off of the kill, but of course,
जैसे ही एक को मारता मजा आ जाता था क्योंकि वो लोग ने ड्रोन करके बहुत लेट कंट्रोल किया था ड्रोन और मॉली करके कोई चेक ही नहीं किया फटाफट
I would almost consider getting out of there and swapping positions because
TS मर जाता मजा आता था
maybe 2 more weapons, it's not as great as you would want it.
Yep. That's right there. He can pick up that Bulldog, and that's a huge boon to TS now because they can go in aggressively off of that. But still, Sylvan and 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝙋𝙀, they have those automatic weapons. They're trying to hold it back. Borkham with an instant headshot, though, trying to soften up those defenses, and he wants to go in fast. Not quite clearing out the left side, though, and that's where Sylvan will be able to find his 4th.
Okay, so they do cover the Bulldogs. So not the worst of days here for Gen G, but, you know, damage still taken, right? We often like to say, okay, if you keep, you know, the rifle you buy and then, you know, 2 other weapons, you should be okay going into the bonus. But now they don't have a choice. You basically have to just stick with the 2 weapons you carry over and try to save up for the 4th round on the side of Gen G.
Exactly, still economical damage, so this round looks like it's going to be in Team Secret's back. They are the ones with the full buy after all, but let's see how those positions actually play out, because so far we've seen quite a bit of variety from those team compositions, those team strats, and it looks like it's just Gen G rushing straight into B-side for an easy plan.
Okay, so Quack, we often see when people, you know, when teams try to push for B, they always leave someone behind for the post plant, and a lot of teams try to counter that by taking A main or C main fast. Right now, Team Secret's actually just trying to flood it in, and Jeremy's good for 2.
Oh, Dubstep good for the 3rd, in fact. So it's still the same situation. The remaining players are all towards the back of mid. Easy shootings for Team Secret to find that 3rd round.
Okay, yeah, I had a couple doubts there about what are you going to do about the post plant, but I mean, Jeremy just walks in and gets 2 kills. Of course, I mean, we didn't see it on the camera because we're waiting for that smoke play to happen, but surely lots of utility set up. A good blast pack in.
Extremity fight करने का सोचा था.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, this was very intentional. Team Secret, this was their plan, right? Just don't give up. Either C-Link or A-Link, and our retake will be fine. We don't need to panic about going against those post plants. Now going into round 4, Jeremy does have the showstopper, and this looks like it could be one of those setups where you see the recon boat go all the way into spawn.
He does have that showstopper, and he wants to make use of it, even dodging out the fault line. Shoots it, but not quite connecting. Maybe just a little fringe damage to Sylvan. The rest of them still going for control over grass, though.
Yeah, but what this does, now Jeremy doesn't overextend, so that's important. King definitely caught a glimpse of that.
Oh, and this is where you start to see some of those overextensions, just like you mentioned, Will. Going for that control, 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝙔 are fully aware of that fight.
Punish करेंगे, proper default, pure default करके जा रहे हैं.
They're able to take down 2 players, but 𝐿𝐼𝐹 anchor on the A site, goes into short and takes out the first player. He knows their rest are coming.
Yeah, but he didn't have an exit. I mean, he realized he couldn't really push out either way, so he's just trying to use their smokes against him. And this is one of those rounds where most likely it should be a save. So let's take this time, slow things down a little bit. And I want to talk about, you know, the showstopper there. We've seen that play, right, starting at lock-in. Saw a couple of teams doing it. We've seen it happen over here in Pacific as well. Now, the play itself is good. Even if you don't get kills, you've secured all this information in mid where the attackers simply cannot leave the spawn area. So then what we saw from Team Secret, it's just a matter of, well, we don't want to empty mid because then who knows when they're going to creep back in. So they're trying to greed for at least a little bit more info, maybe one more kill.
Solo fights लिए उसकी वजह से
slight glimpse of Jeremy really leads
game close out नहीं कर पाए, लेकिन SMT हो जाना चाहिए था.
I agree.
और third में वही सबका.
It's just off of King's kills. I feel like it's TS's reads as well, because he must have known that that showstopper was coming.
Oh, sure.
Not just from hearing the sounds or the call from Raze, but that fault line coming in from 𝐿𝐼𝙔 right through window, right through mid, tells me that they were setting up for that play. They were banking on the fact that Team Secret would send off something aggressive just like that. And on to the next one, of course. It's just easier for 𝐿𝐼𝙔 to actually break through Team Secret's defenses. Numbers are so important in this game, and that's why I think Team Secret kind of need to figure out how to temper that aggression a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they started on the back foot here on the first half of Haven, so we've seen them kind of go with these coordinated set plays right off the bat for a couple of these rounds. Now we're finally seeing a default from them, a 3-2 split between A and C. And they are prepared for this. They're trying to scout for the Omen, but Meteor's already here.
Just because he updrafted.
Spawn
that is something that TS might not really expect, but Team Secret's still ready for it. Borkum able to get one, but instantly traded. Jeremy, thankfully, off the back of defender spawn, just creates a choke point outside of garage.
Rolling Thunder just gets completed.
They do get to secure the spike plan and have that Rolling Thunder in their pocket, so they might be able to send it just to push off that coming retake, but they still need to watch out for 𝐿𝐼𝐹, and that is what 𝐿𝐼𝐹 is looking out for. Still waiting for the peek from Jesse. He kind of spotted out the elbow.
He needed to get the kill, and he does get it just in time. King, Envy with a great peek. It's now a 2v1. The fault line, is it good?
Oh, close, but no dice, because Envy was the secondary player that Vandal spray transfer did not quite connect
भाई King को एक को तो मारना था City वाले को. जीत जाते थे अभी round.
I mean, it was as ideal as you could get it for 𝐿𝐼𝐹, right? It was already a 2-3 fighting against that retake.
ना recon जोड़ा उसने, ना player को kill किया. ये scan भी हो रहा है, मार भी रहा है, सब kill भी use कर रहा है.
Very perfect. In fact, even this fault line is good, right? It catches the person in the back so you can get the instant kill up front, but like you said, the transfer doesn't land, and Envy actually just has enough time to make sure he lines up his own crosshairs.
And that's magic from Envy as well. I mean, we've been talking about these IGLs, these Eagles, the Jesse, Fash, and TS Team Secret. It gets a little bit confusing.
Yeah, we should just dedicate that we'll never
Secret,
we'll say the full name this whole match, because it is starting to get a little confusing.
But Envy versus 𝐿𝐼𝐹, I think that's a big matchup on its own right, and they are showing up to it as well. Now into it then, it's going to be 𝐿𝐼𝐹 instantly dashing straight in, but Meteor not quite landing the knives. It's Jeremy, in fact, who lands the paint shells, and 𝐿𝐼𝐹 finding 2 in return.
Yeah, even though Meteor wasn't good for a kill, he did buy enough time, whether it was intended or not, so it does lead to a clean entry here and the plant. Now, lots of votes committed here on the side of 𝐿𝐼𝐹 in the past 2 rounds. They want to keep up the momentum and really break the economy of Team Secret. All right, smoke coming out from Borkum on a lobby. This means that they're just going to have to save. I mean, this is just to keep 𝐿𝐼𝐹 guessing, make sure they don't come out on the hunt.
I love that you say that, Will, because this is exactly the problem Team Secret are facing. Economy, right, is the issue, because if they continue to go in they just won't have enough. They're going to start to lose more rounds and possibly lose the momentum as well, and that's something that Team Secret does not want. So full save this time.
Meteor ने देखो कि पूरे blades
next.
Whiff कर दिए थे.
But still,
Hello
kinda have to
Shubhankar,
break
welcome to
apart
the stream.
what exactly happened on the side of A.
Hello Jenny.
Because 𝐵 did have that paint shells, but Gen G just continued to waterfall off of Meteor.
Missed me
and
at
that is the factor that kind of broke apart
watch party.
this A side defense.
Yeah, and
आना था
what
यार
I'm
नहीं आ
really
पाया.
liking about that round is Gen G clearly keeping track of the responses from Team Secret, right? Whenever they've
कोई ना,
poked a
next
little
watch
bit
party
and
में
prodded
मिलेंगे.
over on a main, they've kept tabs of alright, what utility comes out from where, what's the setup, what's the default from Team Secret. Then they forced an entry into A, so now what does Team Secret have to do? They have to commit, once again, 3 people for a full setup on the default on A side.
And
Now it's going to be a fast push on to C.
Not quite the read that we were hoping for. Team Secret now, it's all up to Porkham. He's got one dark cover available to him. His position is not quite yet been spotted, but he's going to whip the spray. TS, he comes up huge instead, and that's an impactful frag because the rest of them are arriving late to the retake and kind of losing out in those positions. Jeremy's the only one left.
अभी एक chance मिला था Workham को.
Shorty to his name.
Team Secret looked
लेकिन.
all out of sorts there. I
Shoulder
mean,
shot
for
पड़े.
one, yes, the
Headshot नहीं
aim
पड़े
itself
double.
gets shaken. And then, I get it, right? Your economy's not great, your firepower is not great, and so you're just trying to flood the site before the spike actually gets planted. But here's the thing, you've already lost the site entirely. You don't have full setup, full utility, and firepower to do one of those fast retakes. I mean, at least try to recover.
He's got show rounds.
Does have it, but I don't think you commit it here. You're already so far behind.
They're just going to peek off.
Erin ने भी solo pick किए.
But that's absolutely right. They definitely did look out of sorts. It wasn't just the aim,
दो round
kind
किया
of
Erin.
positioning a little bit. And also, I think it's the calling. I'm not to discredit 𝐵 no matter what, but this is exactly
और overtime
what
में
Seth
fast.
was likening it to during the Destiny
Mumbai
segment.
it is.
Both IGLs, this is what it comes down to. This is why these two players were highlighted.
Okay, मिलते हैं फिर
TS
शुभंकर.
versus 𝐵. They are the ones moving the pieces in the game right now. And you can see that TS actually is moving them few moves ahead of 𝐵 in this instance.
Yeah, again,
और
the power of the IGL, you only really start to see it if you
कर दिया था.
string together all the rounds, right? And so they strike A, they strike C, and now they go for a slow
और हम
default,
लोग
taking control of mid.
Ascent में
But they
defense
still
में
have full utility set
area
up in front
control
of
नहीं
A
ले रहे
lobby
थे
for
ज़्यादा
the side
कुछ
of Gen G, right? They
पता नहीं
still
कुछ
have
plan
TS
रहेगा.
watching C main.
लेकिन जो
They
भी plan था पहले
actually
work
fully
नहीं कर रहा था.
control
फिर
the
जब भी वो लोग ने
information on this
अपन ने
map.
fight
Team
करना
Secret
चालू कर दिया
simply
area
has
control.
information where they're allowed, which is really just C-Link and
तभी
A-Link.
थोड़ा 2-3 round अच्छा खेले. फिर से वापस area
That's the
control
other
बंद कर
thing.
दिया.
Because from their
Mid
perspective,
तो alarm bot पे छोड़ रहे थे वो लोग.
they
alarm bot
kind
आके
of
तोड़
have to
रहे थे
make some
और जा रहे थे.
guesses.
उधर contest ही नहीं कर रहे थे.
So
जब भी alarm bot टूटने वाला है
what
तभी.
they're trying to do right now, just making off of the little sounds that they get from Gen G's utility, hearing the drone, and then we get a little peek.
ना
from
B main
dubstep.
fight ना mid fight.
But at the same time,
MN
they
भी छोड़ा हुआ
need
है.
to be able to block off
Map क्या है,
information
side
and
सिर्फ.
switch things up so that they keep Gen
एक
G.
दो round shutdown किया. Direct side
but
rush
right now
अपन
with the
shutdown
setup
कर
they
रहे
have,
थे.
it's a very
लेकिन
safe
अगर
setup,
split
and
आया
with
side
the
पे
ultimates
तो hold
they
नहीं
have
हो
in
रहा था.
hand, this
तो
is
उसके लिए कुछ
intended
तो
to
चाहिए
be a
था हमें.
retake from Team Secret. I cannot imagine
ए ऐसा मत हो
Porkham
यार.
That's true.
has to get out. He has to either just hold site and stay alive or get out of here and keep 5 alive.
हाँ लो.
All right, 5 HP. Not the worst,
मर
but
गया.
the Nano Swarm will burn him alive instead. Dubstep, right from garage, goes for a
मिला यार,
ballsy
बेचारे को.
spray, but Sylvan instantly reacts.
Double तो चाहिए
We
था.
might have a showstopper.
It's still doable, exactly. You can try to go for the showstopper. Oh. All right, he's able to try to fly through. Does he bash?
1v1.
Yes, sight. Not good enough. King still working with his turret to clean up the round. It now goes
हर जगह double
6
satchel
and
मारना
2
जरूरी है क्या?
as we prepare for round 9. And I mean, I think all of us agreed that this was probably going to be a close match, no matter who wins. I know most of us predicted Team Secret, both of us here on the cast did as well, but we did not expect any of the maps to go this way.
This is one of those things where I think a timeout is it's coming soon, probably. At least for Team Secret, because on all these strats and what we're seeing, it makes sense. Oh, actually, it's a Gen G timeout. What?
Okay. No, that's the UI.
Okay.
Yep, the screen
Whoops.
says Secret. We've got the giant eye staring down on all of us here in the 𝐿𝐴 in Seoul, South Korea. So this is definitely a Team Secret timeout.
Yes.
We have seen winning teams do timeouts just for a little bit of a mental break or whatever, but usually it's not like this. Now, something, I think some of us have mentioned it on the broadcast before, something 𝐵 likes to do is if the opponent's calling timeout and they win, he'll instantly call a counter timeout just to cool them off again and keep them guessing, right? A lot of these timeouts, sometimes it's a mind game between the two coaches as well. So curious to see, first of all, What is Warbird's answer? I do think you already see some of the glaring mistakes, right? Your defaults are set up a certain way, but then you don't commit to the execution of it. If you're going to push out altogether and commit to that. If you're going to default, wait to hold for the... Once again, you have 4 ultimates. You can retake any of the sites.
If you have that retake, if you have that rolling thunder, then you have to do that together as a team. What we saw in the previous round was 𝐵𝑜RKAM kind of caught alone on the site itself.
Yes.
Unfortunately, just couldn't quite stay alive. So, Gen.G currently are playing just a little bit faster than Team Secret.
I mean, look at the tempo change again, right?
I like
after
this.
After the timeout, it's a fast strike on 𝐷𝐸. Now, they surely, because of the ultimate situation, expect that this could potentially be the ultimate. So they're trying to draw them out one by one. The reason they do a fast strike is this way they can bait out all the ultimates before they have to commit.
That is a fast counter strat in a way of its own. They knew to expect this retake setup from Team Secret. Question is, though, will the gunfights go in their way or Team Secret's way? In fact, right now, it looks like it's going to be Team Secret. Jeremy just runs straight into 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝙋𝙀. 𝑖nvi coming up huge as well. A triple kill now to his name. Meteor, the last one left. Down to 9 HP, hiding inside of the dark cover. They know he's there, but he's still slipping back and forth. Quick double, dashing up front. He's going to get a third.
Oh.
Jesse nailing the head to block him off.
I mean, still Meteor even getting 3 with 9 health. I mean, we talk about how we had some Matrix moments. Let me tell you, this one takes a cake. Dodging all the bullets and then landing his own. Unfortunately, just not enough. jesseVash understanding they just have to fight 2v1. But again, while it was a lot of investment, good setups, and I think it's important to note, 𝑖nvi starting to find his aim, starting to find his groove. This was a player that we pointed out as the star player for the side of Team Secret. So many maps. If he starts to pop off, things could get different here for the rest of this map.
That is entirely true, at least for Team Secret, because we need more of these players to come online. We can definitely see that Gen.G, 𝐷𝐿, Meteor, these are the ones that you have to disable. Still though, because they're attacking, they're kind of mixing things up right now, and Team Secret is up to them to react to this.
Yeah, so once again, site emptied out. Lockdown is at the ready for dubstep. Of course, 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝑋 has his own Hunter's Fury, and surely he's saving that. What's the rest of the setup here? Oh,
no
Meteor
way!
Trying to buy space by going up into heaven. And now Team Secret, they have more to consider other than just the ultimates.
Oh, all the positionings being swapped around. Meteor, one little move. The Team Secret are a little more afraid, but this lockdown will give them more security as they push into the site. Jeremy leading the charge now. 𝑖nvi off the other side. They have the stuns, they have the concusses, and they have those positions locked down. Sylvan, no way you make it out of this one alive. Team Secret coming back into the game.
The timeouts are working for the side of Team Secret, and I gotta say, it wasn't the lockdown that gets them. Of course, we're gonna see the counter timeout now from Gen.G. It wasn't the lockdown, because quite frankly, that was meant to be a trade from both teams, right? But it's the flashes afterwards, the flash points from 𝑖nvi. The timing on that, you see that? I mean, Jeremy right off of the flash, he doesn't even get half blinded by it, and he's able to help clear the site. The double team of Jeremy and 𝑖nvi, the 2 rookies on this squad, is absolutely impeccable.
And that's that similarity that we expected to see from the side of Gen.G, 𝐷𝐿, Meteor. And that's again why both teams are so similar, but we have to
ब्रिज को जो मारा ना उसकी वजह से पॉसिबल हुआ सिटी से रिटेक नहीं तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता था ब्रिज नहीं मरता ना वो लोग का पहले रिटेक के पहले तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता था बहुत एमएफ करता था सिटी के चुक पॉइंट पे स्किल्स भाई गायब हो गए स्किल्स घर पे ही है स्किल्स उसके मॉम का ध्यान रख रहा है और खेल भी रहा है ग्राइंड कर रहा है गेम ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं कर रहा है
But then it's Jeremy and 𝑖nvi. Okay, so now you've
हाँ मुझे लगता है G top 6 आ सकते हैं आएंगे.
So how do we make sure their default breaks apart once again? That was the weakness that Gen.G exploited for so much of this first half. If they can do it for the last 2 rounds,
obviously Genesis किसी एक को
that's entirely possible too.
तो अच्छे से परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा.
only talk about things that are possible when I'm casting.
Actually सब लोग
I try to keep the impossibles out of the way.
I like the impossibilities though.
मार तो रहे थे.
Meteor had got
लेकिन अभी भी डिसिप्लिन का थोड़ा सा सीन है.
Like what if Euro just
कभी-कभार सोलो पिक्स कर देते हैं और पिक्स कर
देते हैं. What if you had a triple duelist, huh, Will?
Okay, well that did happen actually.
Nice.
It wasn't a nightmare. Meanwhile, jesseVash just gonna
भाई TS के पास TP नहीं था क्या?
So
क्या किया
the intention here, if you look, the spike was never meant to go straight to A. Gen.G was just trying to kind of mess
Hell
up.
Ranger को
mess up the
Discord पे
default
बुलाओ.
of Secret. And Jesse Vash's response
ठीक है.
is, well, just spray through the smoke to check if anyone's crossing.
And it actually worked, but it also left a little bit of a gap towards the B site. But
Nice.
Jeremy comes straight back in. Showstopper clears out back, and now all
अभी
they've got to worry
methodical
about
चालू हो गया.
is just
पहले
mid.
ego वाले site holds
Gen G
कर रहे
don't
थे.
quite have the firepower either.
Nice.
So this comes down to a little bit of a firing range, not at least until King shows up on the server.
He's gonna Vandal.
Looking for the next
Yo!
shot, and then the
कर रहा है ना
subsequent one, he's
smoke.
down to a 1v1. This smoke a little bit shallow, gives him a little bit more space.
He just
He
sees
goes
play time.
straight into the pocket, and Borkum
Pick ही
wants
नहीं
to
करेगा
force
ये
him out.
King.
King's
क्यों करेगा? आप
King
जब
is
तक नहीं होता
playing
तब
the
तक.
gambling game. He's betting that it's not. Oh, he
Oh,
checks for it
God.
as well.
Borkum needs to stick at half at
Yes,
least.
गया
stick
King.
half. King
क्यों करेगा
wins the
जैसी?
mind games against Borkum. What an incredible play
Yes,
from
Ragnar.
King.
अभी भी
I mean,
chance है
taking
G
the risk
qualify
to
हो
jump
सकता है.
out of the smoke. The first was scout the
भाई
position
10 teams है.
and
No
get
teams के सामने
into
games
a place
खेलना
where
है.
he can continue the jiggle peek. Then banking on the fact that the first one's absolutely a fake, and then checking at the halftime of the next one. And then the third as well for the kill.
And that is why this is his kingdom.
पता था window ये.
Even though his subjects, his loyal subjects, were on slightly weaker weapons, he still made it work off of his own firepower, off of tiny jiggle peaks, just to throw Borkum off balance. 4-7 now. This is the last round of the first half. Team Secret desperately looking to make it slightly easier for the next half.
Yep, last round, that means Gen G just taking things step by step, right? Invest utility and then take that area. Very textbook Valorant. They've already taken control outside of Garage. They're
हाँ,
making
वही
sure
तो आम
Team
आदमी
Secret
वही बोल रहा हूँ
cannot
मैं.
push out of anywhere. And
मौका
now with
wait
this drone,
करता
they
हो
know,
जाता
okay,
था
the
रहा हूँ.
only area that Team Secret has invested into is A short.
Still,
Nice.
even though they know that, they can't
बहुत
quite deal against the off angle being held by Jesse Vash. 3-round burst finds the head, and then from the shadows to get even more information. Jeremy even pushing up closer with a Phantom. Takes off 2 players from Gen G.
And the great thing there was from the shadows being used at the same time as the fault line setup, so Jeremy, can push in. So it's just you had too many things to consider, right? It's not an entire like fake, right, where you have to look the other way or something like that. But again, it's just an overload of information. The timing was very intentional.
30 seconds.
Coming out from Team Secret.
Speaking of timing, this one little push from Dubstep might just catch them off surprise.
C पे दे रहा था, घुमा दिया उसने stun.
Quick reactions. Borkum not able to fight back either. Comes down to a shock dart that destroys the spike planter. Lockdown being deployed. They have to push this. Team Secret knows they have the initiative. They want to go in even deeper. Sylvan tries to fight back, but Jeremy says no. 5-7 will be the score at the end of the first half.
Well, at one point of this half, Quack, we had a 6-2 scoreline in favor of Gen G, and I remember I made a comment something like, well, all of us thought this would be a closer match, and guess what? We're right back to a very typical 7-5. Now sides being switched. Team Secret absolutely can make a run back here on Haven.
Entirely possible. I mean, I have to think that this was a map picked by Gen G because they saw some weaknesses in Team Secret's play
easy game तो नहीं है भाई.
Week. But that said, it shows it's a nice showing that Team Secret still has that adaptability within them to kind of, you know, sometimes we could just abandon our defaults. Sometimes we have to try something different and a new setup perhaps. But now that we go into the next half, this is where we get to see what Gen G has to show for us because they haven't really played this in a pretty long time.
Yeah, I mean, Gen G not
games
Gen G, right? They've played it before, and one of the things I want to note is 𝐿𝙊𝙉 has often popped off on the breach here on Haven. I think that's one of the things. The other thing, King, even dating back to the DRX and Vision Striker days, he was known to just hold one site on his own.
अभी 6 games खेलने बाकी है भाई अपने को.
Sometimes with just the Sheriff, and that suddenly makes this a 2-site map for Gen G on defense instead of a 3-site map. So do those factors work in favor for Gen G?
Gen G performing well
need it.
with their
as always
additions.
Things boil down sort of to this pistol round at the start of the second
मुझे लगता है कि
Team Secret loses it
ये लोग को थोड़ा पेशेंस से खेलना चाहिए था Secret को. ये रिवर्स हो सकता था 7-5 सीक्रेट के साइड में हो सकता था या 8-4 भी हो सकता था उसके
Now, I will say in terms of like pairing and movement of the micro compositions within each team, nothing too surprising, right? We constantly saw the Sova and the Breach.
2 बार बुरकुम को सी पे पकड़ा ना, एक बार उसने विफ कर दिया, ठीक है। उसके बाद जो वो आफ्टर शॉक खाया था प्लेटफॉर्म के पीछे, लो हुआ, टीपी किया, साइड पे आया, लॉक्स के उधर जो मॉली से मारा ना, वो राउंड उसको एग्जिट मारना था क्योंकि इनके पास सब अल्टीमेट्स थे रिटेक करने के लिए, तो साथ में रिटेक कर सकते थे, जैसा ए पे रिटेक किया वैसा ही सी रिटेक कर सकते थे, लेकिन उसने होल्ड करने का सोचा, पता नहीं क्यों, कैसे करेगा सोलो होल्ड लो होने के बाद। आज सारे क्रिएटिव लोग आए हैं मैच देखने के लिए। कौन क्रिएटिव है? हाँ ब्रो, युवराज शर्मा। मतलब ये कॉम के हिसाब से उतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कॉम नहीं है, लेकिन अपना जो कॉम्प है उसके हिसाब से खेलते थे, उसके अकॉर्डिंग प्लान बना के तो होता था, लेकिन वो भी ठीक से अच्छे से फॉलो नहीं किया मुझे लगता है। एलोंग पे 2 बार वो लोग स्मोक के थ्रू ट्रेड करने के लिए आए, अपन ने 1 किल लिया, वो लोग ने 2 किल ले लिए, ब्रॉन्स्की और अपना कॉन्टेक्सचर दोनों मर गए एलोंग पे 2 गन राउंड्स। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ना। वो ट्रेड्स फेवर में नहीं जा रहे तो फिर सिर्फ जेट को ही पिक करने देते हैं।
It's a little bit of a gamble from Team Secret, though. They're thinking that the players were positioned on the A side, but they were so wrong. Gen.G still not budging from C. Anyone that pushed in, easily dismissed by the frenzy that is in the hands of King and TS now with the classic. Pushing up front, blocking off Garage. Nice. It's lights out for Dubstep. And again, Gen.G finding that pistol.
Yeah, and this all comes down once again to the fact that they were able to just trust Meteor for A site and then make that rotation early. That allowed 𝐿𝐿𝐷𝐿𝐿 to get there in time. TS buys enough time to allow King to stay hidden until he's ready to get the kill. Then 𝐿𝐿𝐷𝐿 comes in to save King. TS can now strike back again. All off the back of pushing A main as 3 and then not overheating. Yes, once again, really pointing out the importance of just knowing what your limits are. And now it's Meteor on that Marshall. We always know he's good for 1.
It's going to be tricky for Team Secret to say the least. Meteor now presence on the B side. Anyone who tries to go in for a bit of a lurk, not going to happen today. Not for you, Dubstep.
You know, I thought maybe I had spoken too soon, but nope, he's always good for at least 1. So Meteor gonna get that kill. And I mean, again, once he gets the Marshall, once he gets the Operator, it's bad news, especially on a map like Haven where the Operator suddenly makes defense so much easier and balanced.
Not just balance, but
classic tick.
A little bit weird with the 3-round burst of the Bulldog. It allows for 𝑬nvi to actually pick up that kill, but he's expecting someone to instantly come back over just to watch that on the ground.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see teams protect the weapon upgrade going over.
ये build से हेवन वाले को मार देगा. Nice.
Team Secret, they've actually set themselves up for success.
अरे नहीं.
They do go back down in numbers, but 𝑬nvi still has a Bulldog.
Difficult round.
Rotating off of that one frag from Jeremy, but no. Off of the spike plant, watching the angle into to 𝐴-Link. They actually get deleted. They got the spike plant though, so
I mean,
a little bit of damage maybe.
Well, more so than damage, I think Team Secret just okay with what they got, right? They got the extra creds from the spike plant. They were still able to take away, you know, a couple weapons. They were able to get, you know, 2 kill creds. So not the end of the world. Now, not enough damage done to Gen.G to celebrate anything. Yeah. But Team Secret setting themselves up for a little bit longer of, you know, a run. Maybe a little bit more breathing room here.
I don't know, Will. I'm not satisfied with that second round. I thought I could do more.
Aggressive कर रहे तो kills चाहिए, वरना क्या मतलब है?
Because they gave us and everyone
kills नहीं ले पा रहे तो नहीं जाना ना aggressive.
Right? They picked up the Bulldog. They had already set up a lurk in mid. So theoretically,
कोई ना
there
होगा
was a little bit more hope and possibility.
भरोसा रखो.
Gen.G not one to overextend or overcommit to any movements. Now Gen.G on their bonus, they're just gonna even out their econ for the next round.
Revealing area.
See, what I don't like about this is that now Gen.G's really close to the double digits, and because of that, they're going a little bit more aggressive. They know they can take some risks, so it's just going to be a big ol' exchange right up by A lobby, and Gen.G are actually coming out on top of this one. 𝐵oRkHM trying to even out the odds back to a 1-on-1. He does want that spike.
I mean, this is already disastrous for Team Secret. A round you absolutely need to win with at least 3 people alive, if not 4. You're already down to 1, even if you somehow win this, which statistically speaking, he does have less health. So we got to say, I mean, I got to raise it for Sylvan's side a little bit here, but no matter whether you win or lose, you already feel terrible about round 15. Sylvan now just trying to stamp the nail in the coffin. He's not going to get it.
Thankful, safe for Team Secret, and a sigh of relief from us casters and honorary Filipinos all across the world. And a very nice scoreline.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm predicted for Team Secret. But you know what? I just want to see good Valorant, all right?
Yes, we want to see good Valorant. And what I see right now is a very nice scoreline of 6 to 9. Okay. But still, this is, again, that play between those two teams. Gen.G, they knew they were on a save. They knew they would have enough in the next round, so they just went in for that. And they actually got quite a bit of value. Team Secret are on light shields this round. Not the worst thing in the world, but definitely a little bit impactful.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've seen light shields work in teams' favors as well if it's an intentional setup for your economy. I know a lot of people were talking about Zeta Division, taking a page out of Fnatic's book in their Week 3 match.
Shields, yes.
So it can be done, but you got to imagine that right now it's not because they want to, but because they have to on the side of Team Secret here, and 𝐵𝑜RKAM already taking a little bit of a scratch as well. Starting on the back foot, they don't have too much information. So right now they're going to wait until the 1-minute mark to see if Gen.G pushes. Otherwise, they will have to start to use their drone right at the 1 minute to regain some control.
That is exactly what they're doing. Just to clear out A.
अच्छा, ओमन ने कंट्रोल स्मोक किया था. C क्लियर करने आ रहे क्या कभी? Yes, कभी क्लियर करने वाले हैं. 𝐵𝑜RKAM, Chacha, मार दो.
But at the same time, pushing on the other side of the map as a duo, they take 𝐵𝑜RKAM away. That's your controller gone.
Smart hai,
yeah, and here's the thing, Gen.G, they have no reason to rotate off of that because they've intentionally already left A open because they're going to retake it with the lockdown if it comes down to that. So now that they've seen the Omen, they've took it down, they suspect, yeah, it's going to be a C-side hit.
This is paid full will. 20 seconds remaining, and you have no choice but to commit to this. They have to shoot it, but King has laid it out open as a trap. You have activated my trap card. I am going to send you into the Shadow Realm. Dubstep has a Guardian, but not quite landing the shots. He's going to have to save this thing.
Yeah, I mean, boy, this does not feel good at all, right? Not only are you forced to save, you're forced to save a Guardian, and not your weapon of choice, perhaps, in most rounds.
Nice.
And the thing is, you have to recognize that you were absolutely read like a book, right? You were suffocated to the point where you had no information until the 1 minute mark. Then you used the drone, but Gen.G already empties out that side of the map. And the other thing I like about that is, as soon as they hear the drone, they push out a C main to check 𝐼𝑘. I mean, this was very, very calculated coming out from TS and his teammates. Team Secret, do they recognize that in game? Because if not, surely after this round, we see their second timeout come out.
That's the problem. You're going to have to use it at some point sooner rather than later, because if you don't, and fast plays from TS on Gen.G comes out, your ultimates are nullified.
Well, now you're kind of stuck in mid. You don't have any information covering your backs. Of course, it is 𝐼𝑘 as well.
भाई जो भी कर रहे हैं Gen.G सब perfect हो रहा है.
But Gen.G, I mean, let them have Garage, right? That's the plan here. They have shorter weaponry, no reason to get into a gambling position. Just hold these long angles, and we'll know when they come in. We'll just go for a retake if we need. Just hold A site, all good.
So much presence everywhere. Gen.G are prepared
City
for
देख रहा
whatever
तो garage window.
I mean, it's all crossfires except for Meteor, who's trying to rely on his tailwind to get out if he needs. And
no. It almost came down to it. This one play from Garage too, but it kind of falls apart. Envy though from middle.
Oh, trying to swing out off of the stun.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, yes.
सच बोल रहा है?
The ace. Looking for the ace. Now this does get all 3.
They're okay.
3 bullet,
Covered by the
3
smoke will.
opponents.
Envy needs to pick off one. Oh, he doesn't get the kill instantly.
Oh, God.
And then he panics. I mean, you can feel it in his aim. He knows he has to get the kill instantly. He knows there was no more hope. He invests the rolling thunder into the future of Team Secret here on Haven, and it's gone all down the drain.
That's just That stock market is crashing. I am speechless. We had a showstopper at the start of the round. We're seeing it in that replay. It did not work out. Envy had a pretty good frag, had the Rolling Thunder, invested it, repositioned all the way to C long, but covered off.
ये दोनों smokes ने MF कर दे रहा उसका.
Tagged up because of a few shots from Gen G's players. He could not land a subsequent shot.
What's up?
This is now double
Gen G
digits.
क्या मस्त खेल रही है.
For Gen G. That timeout that we
सब
were
कुछ
talking
सही चल
about.
रहा है
Gen
Gen
G
G के
still
लिए.
has one in the pocket. Does not
GB
look
tournament.
good for the future of Team Secret. At least in this match.
GB.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
है ना
definitely
अभी भी
not
tournament
uneven,
में.
and Gen
Bro,
G not
ये
only
league
are
है
they
league.
identifying some of these weaknesses. I mean, the
IPL कैसे होता है?
cleanliness from Team
League.
Secret's calls that we've come to
सब
see
टीम्स
on
एक
some of
दूसरे को
their other
खेलते हैं.
maps,
वैसा ये
right?
10 टीम
Like
सब
Descent,
एक दूसरे को
like
खेलेंगे.
Fracture. We're not seeing that
टॉप
on
6
Maven,
आएंगे, वो
and
प्लेऑफ्स
Gen
के
G
लिए
is
क्वालिफाई
exploiting
होंगे.
that very well.
आईपीएल में भी वैसे ही होता है ना.
I think
वही
Gen
है
G
लीग
also actually
फॉर्मेट
just
है.
adapting mid-map to the fact that, okay, Team Secret, they're going to start to panic because they can't get
As I
a
said,
lead
easy
here on the
for Gen G
scoreboard.
on
Let's use that
defense. Let's
against
see.
them. We're seeing that round to
देख वो
round.
लोग जो
And
भी
that's how
डिसीजन ले
TS
रहे
is
हैं ना
getting all
सब
these
परफेक्ट
good
जा
leads,
रहे हैं.
right? It's not simply
जो
off
भी
of,
सेटअप यूज
I mean,
कर रहे
surely
हैं.
they've prepped with statistics and
पता
whatnot
नहीं
and
वो
bot
सेटअप में
reviews,
जाके फंस
but
रहे
just
हैं.
in the game, TS is starting to feel, okay, if I'm panicking, what would I do? Okay, yeah, I would probably
यही अगर
invest my ult to try to
Secret
overcome this eco round.
थोड़ा डिसिप्लिन में खेलता ना.
Exactly. I mean, it's just red
First
like a
half
book,
में
step by step.
कभी ये स्कोर नहीं होता.
And now Gen G,
अपना
they
नेक्स्ट
finally
मैच
make
कब
the
है?
switch.
Next
Look
match
at this,
VLR
the
पे
operator now
मिल
comes
जाएगा
in
information.
and see, it's only Jet. It's an absolute trap here on A site.
All the Killjoy utility, all the players set up to control A short of all things.
You
The
can't
paint
force
shells
this.
does make it a bit of a trade. And then the owl drone, but not quite deep enough
आया
to
नहीं
suss
था
out
कोई.
positions of
पे.
King and TS.
अभी भी पता है 3 लोग हैं यहाँ पे. फिर भी हिट करेंगे क्या?
Okay, if you're Team Secret, even if you don't have information on, you know, behind you for the flank, you can't force this. You've already seen the skills
दिया,
of
King
yo,
मार
utility
देगा.
of 4 different agents here.
Gen G pushes. What? Gen G pushes into the firefight. Will what? What?
Well, let me tell
Super.
you, sometimes casters are just outright wrong because Team Secret just gets kills, and they're going to be able to get the site for free. 𝐿𝐿𝘆 just waiting for that final moment.
Oh!
Player standing.
Okay, more kills.
Meteor,
down
1v2.
Double kill, in fact, for
नसीब
God
ब्लेड नहीं है भाई के
That
पास.
thankfully puts an end to that.
I think Meteor tries this. I think if you're Meteor, you
ट्राई
try.
करेगा ये.
You do have money. If you get 1 kill, you can try to open things up.
मार
He's
दे.
got a shorty.
Shorty. Yeah,
He's gonna
change to Shorty. Oh, but he's baited entirely.
चाटी
Great
लेके
switch up from
आएंगे.
Envy. I don't mind the try from Meteor.
They can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, you can afford it, and also, you know,
वो लोग
you
को
didn't
चांस मिलना
have-
चाहिए.
Obviously, ideal,
हाँ
if
भाई.
you could have switched to a rifle, but the try itself, a valiant effort. You also have many rounds in the bank.
Speaks volumes to their confidence, if anything. Just looking for those quick scopes, looking to turn those duels into one-on-ones. But smart plays from Team Secret, especially with Envy just circling around that cloudburst. Still, quite a bit for Team Secret to climb
चांस तो
back
मिलना
into the
चाहिए भाई.
game. They
सबको
need
मिलना चाहिए.
so many wins in a row, 4 wins in a row, just to even out the odds.
It's going to be an early Rolling Thunder as soon as you hear the spike plant, I think. Yeah, they were prepped
Alright,
for it. They
let's
already
go.
flooded A-Link. Borkum, the only one alive.
Nice.
Not stunned, he's still
TP,
alive. Teammates here for backup. The crossfire from Jeremy. They still need to clear out Borkum if they want to try to push this, so they have to wait for the plan to happen.
Look at your mini-map though, TS actually wrapping all the way around from mid to cover the turret. Oh, but 𝐿𝐿𝐿 expects it, finds his head. And now all we're left with are 2 players, each coming in from A and C link. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 knows to watch it, but he went a little bit too aggressive.
Remaining.
And now the off angle, the control play from Envy, Borkum. All you got, all you need, 1 bullet.
I mean, 𝐿𝐿𝐿 surely just saves this. Yeah, no reason to give
Save
over
it.
a potential extra ult point and some creds over to Envy. You're also not sitting entirely healthy on your economy anymore if you're Gen G. So the wise choice made by 𝐿𝐿𝐿. And Team Secret, they're looking alive. I like it, right? Borkum escapes the Rolling Thunder, and that keeps this round going in their favor for Team Secret.
A sudden fast switch up
Is everyone
off the
still
timeout
loading?
just to
Double
go
check
in
it,
for that
please.
B site hit. Something that Gen G doesn't really defend at all. So it works out for the time being, but we need 3 more rounds, Will.
Yeah, there's still a ways to go. Now, if you're Team Secret, sure, you're happy that it's not match point yet. Meanwhile, Gen G, you gotta say, you know, if you're gonna invest into this round, this has to be it, right? If you're buying half armors and bulldogs, you're probably planning to use it on Just Fury. You have to secure this match point to sit comfortably and have a little bit more time to close out the map.
I don't know how comfortable it's going to be, though, but the paint shells might just be able to damage up Meteor. Operator swapped away, and he's falling back. 𝐵 managing to teleport all the way to the back of defender's spawn. He's trying to cause some chaos himself, trapping them inside of 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿.
Yeah, I mean, that's allowed Jeremy to just get into the site. They've really split up all the forces of Gen G here. And the lockdown as well. Oh! Still Meteor, yeah. Does go down instantly. He gets traded, but it's still going to be the site in control for Team Secret. 𝐵 doing what he can here.
Last player standing.
Oh no.
Swing.
Yeah.
But now they know exactly where NB is.
2-on-1 situation too. They're thinking that he might have gone over to C, but
they're just trying to regroup here on the side of Gen G. I think it has to be, right? Surely you heard the potential sound and the footsteps of the member here. So they're sticking together. Yeah, no need to fight 1v1, especially because King was low.
कल Sentinels का मैच मैं एक ही मैप देखा.
Okay, well, now you know.
Oh no!
You as well. He saw the recon bolt come out, but can't reset his aim in time. And Sylvan will clutch it out.
That does not feel good for Team Secret. Getting that swing off of
भाई एक को मार के वो रिपोजिशन भी कर सकता था या फिर एम पे कॉन्फिडेंट था तो यार मार देना यार. ये क्या प्ले है?
Down to the final moments. Gen G just a little bit more controlled.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the fact that they regroup, right? King calling, I'm low on Ho. I'm not going to peek. I'm actually just going to run away as far as possible in case he pushes out with the fault line. It all leads to success. King.
हाँ, आइसबॉक्स देखा ना यार, बराबर आइसबॉक्स भी देखा.
Good for the 1v1.
जो टप दिए हैं.
Secret.
Som ने.
Not gonna rush it entirely, but now they have to because Dubstep's been taken down. No one's watching their flank. They can't settle with just the site. They have to push out. I mean, sure they send 𝐵
भाई एक तो मर जाओ इससे. Please.
Jeremy needs to hold this position. It's too many angles. He's got to back out.
Yeah, Gen G instantly knows how to react to it too. Instantly backing all the way off. Rolling Thunder just to give him a little bit more space. And Jeremy looks to eliminate some of them in that equation, but doesn't quite happen the way that they wanted it to. Losing players in the process. It's up to Jesse, Bastion, 𝐵. 2-on-3. Here's the teleport. Goes inside of it, but no. TS a little bit faster. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 now lines it up, but shoulder exposed.
GG.
Meteor will be able to find that last frag that sends his team over the edge. 13-8. Gen G plays map 1.
Gen G taking their pick on Haven, correctly identifying the habits and patterns here for the side of Team Secret. Not an entirely one-sided map, but I would say in terms of what we saw round to round, Gen G never really felt too shaken, right? Team Secret, it was more ball always in their court to try to come back, and they were able to do it off the back of a couple heroics. You know, 1 or 2 rounds that were really good off of the timeout, but then instantly Gen G strikes back. They adjust without as much investment. Gen G stays ahead.
Confidence वैसे ही रहा इनका.
Finishing off at 13-8. Again, a lot of these I think were some of those fundamentals, right? And we're starting to see some of the members of Team Secret panic as they were losing more rounds. Their aim getting shakier than we were used to seeing in weeks 1 and 2.
And
like, subscribe कर दो.
We're kind of discussing right
अगर
at the start of the
इच्छा हो
match.
तो.
When you have 2 teams that are
ना हो
that
तो फिर
similar,
super chat कर दो.
that similar compositions, you need that extra edge. You need to find that inspiration, whether it's pre-game or during the game. You have to come up with a strategy that your opponents aren't expecting. Team Secret didn't quite show us that in this map. Gen G did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, one step ahead, right? One step ahead in reading what the similarities are of how you're going to try to plan to move around the map.
अच्छा है ना फिर उल्टे टीम को सपोर्ट कर. हे दूसरे टीम को सपोर्ट कर.
And I hate, you know, I'm not saying it's all on one player's, you know, shoulders, but let's say it like it is. Envy was popping off on a lot of these other maps they played in weeks 1 and 2. Just nowhere near the firepower today on Haven.
Not quite. Even down to that little round with the Rolling Thunder, he managed to get one with the Sheriff. Managed to get a few shots with the Sheriff. But down to those clutch situations. Not quite the performance that we saw last week. On the other hand, for Gen G though, still smart calls from TS, smart plays from his teammates, 𝐿𝙊𝙉𝘍𝙊𝙍, King in fact at times, who did get a clutch, unlike Envy, and then Meteor, I think, still just showing us how much potential he has with those plays, that one play inside of the Cloudburst. That, I can't forget that one.
Yeah, and I think this is where you want to be if you're Gen G, right? Sure, sometimes give the space and rounds that Meteor wants to do his heroics, but don't center everything around him. Because when you do that, you start to get read very easily. But right now, we're seeing them actually work more off of the initiators and the way they play. On defense, you're working more off of King and his setups. And that allows Meteor to then have some breathing room and say, I can do this. I can do this on my own. I can do my heroics. I can play with mechanics and win us a couple rounds to bring things back.
And that's exactly what happens. But that's only what we've got for Haven, because on to the next map. That's one where Gen G might look a little bit uncomfortable. I guess that's what Team Secret are looking to exploit.
I mean, DFM, last week showed us the exact weaknesses of Gen G's Fracture, right? I mean, on top of that, sure, some members of Gen G maybe not performing as well as we're used to seeing from them, but DFM showed the weaknesses of that comp. I'm interested, does Gen G come with something different? And also, what does Team Secret have prepared? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to find that out in just a short moment. We'll go to a break. When we come back, the disc breaks down the action for Map 1 and sets us up for Map 2 on Fracture.
Be right back.
On this retake,
but he can't quite do it.
Oh,
TS still able to flick back and forth down to 14. One right click could make all the difference, and he wants to go fast. Not so. It's still the same situation. The remaining players are really respect, but Team Secret still ready. Even spotted out the elbow.
The fault line isn't good.
Oh, tactical crash, and the rest of them are arriving late to the retake, and kind of
fast retake. I mean, at least.
All right, he's able to jump.
Yes, sight.
No, he's there, but he's still slipping back and forth. Quick double, dashing up front. He's going to get the setup here. Oh, no way. Looking for the next shot.
Yes, it's the cap.
From the shadow of the gap. Still not budging from Sin. Easily dismissed by the French. To the double digits, and because of that, they're
company. Final moment.
Oh!
welcome back to VCT Pacific. We just completed Game 1 for today, Team Secret, and your team.
Yes.
Whoa, all right.
Yeah. I mean,
they both played really well,
yes.
but it just seemed like Gen.G was reading Team Secret.
The better TS is prevailing. That's what we're seeing.
Like we said, he is the Megazord. All of the other TS members are just components that build up to him. No, I mean, Gen.G just looked really well prepared. This is everything that we were hoping for. That's all of the win conditions we had set for them, was them showing up and looking strong. And one of the biggest aspects of that is obviously Meteor finding impact, and he absolutely was able to do so. But I mean, it wasn't just him. Obviously, everybody, I think, other than, I think you could say maybe Sylvan had a little bit of a rougher go of it, was having a whale of a time. But TS, we had him as our key player. He's right out there leading the charge as far as that ACS is concerned. But it's a very good shout to pretty much everybody on the team, because they were clutching when they needed to.
Yeah, everybody had their moments. You had 3 different 4Ks for Gen.G with TS, King, and Sylvan even. I mean, Sylvan, I think, you know, you and I were wanting a little bit with some of the Sova utility. There were some times where we felt like he could have been a little bit more impactful with it, so I think we're still seeing some growing pains putting Sylvan into the initiator role. But, yeah. I mean, you can still see why they're confident to keep TS on the smokes. He's insane on it. He's always seems to be in the right place at the right time, like him maneuvering himself to interesting spots. And this guy right here was absolutely magic. Well deserving of this throne.
All hail King.
I will, yes. Long may he reign.
Yeah, with his low poly cloak. It's great. It is great though. But yeah, I mean, King, kind of the highlight. I mean, TS obviously he was looking incredible. We've seen often from TS, especially at the start of series, it was very much the same versus DFM, that he comes out and he is performing really well. This time it was everybody very much around him. But I mean, good God, King has some insane moments on this map, plenty of which we'll get into in a bit once we dive into some of the highlights. But a wonderful performance, and it was one of the things that William and Quack were talking about. You think back to his Vision Strikers era, even at times when he was on Onslayers, when Onslayers was competing and was that second place team in Korea, you can leave him alone on a site and it's in good hands. You're never really that concerned when King is just alone in his spot, because oftentimes he's good for like 2 to 3 kills.
Yeah, and he definitely proved it in this particular game. Now, this game started pretty hot. You know, even round 1, straight off the bat, a very exciting pistol round. Do you want to take us through that?
Sure. I mean, honestly, this was a great read from Secret, and it really set the bar high. And it's like, okay, they have a very good idea of how Gen.G likes to pilot this. They completely abandon the C site. They know that this is being taken, but they also know that Sylvan is going to be sat back going for this late lurk position. And then they just completely surround him. By the time Sylvan realizes it's far too late, he's already dead. They get the kill. We'll go ahead and we'll fast forward as they get ready to go for this retake. So now they have a 5v4. And this is where it's like, okay, yeah, Secret, they're going to be able to take this pistol. They have a really good pistol win rate coming into this, 70% I believe, but it starts falling apart. They get that initial kill. Now they're in a 5v3, but then King, again, this guy ends up being good for it. Finds 2 before getting taken down. Dubstep, Jesse Bash end up fighting back, and then it is the IGL at the end of it all, the captain of the team, who barely manages to clutch it out with 14 HP remaining. It was a nail-biter of a pistol round, but it showed Secret, they have a good understanding of how Gen.G likes to tackle this map, but unfortunately, they weren't really able to play around it too much. We saw some rounds where they really figured out what they were trying to do. We saw that, that aggro rush coming in, trying to get themselves up into window and whatnot with the showstopper. So there was some good reads, but Gen.G, they also did their homework.
Yeah, that's right, Paper Thin. There were moments where they just had the perfect read on Team Secret as well, right? Even when Team Secret is being aggressive on the defense, and they just read it all.
Oh, yeah, bio and prep. So, like at the very beginning of this, I was hoping we get a little bit more at the beginning of the round here. It's a blast pack in a window, and there is a nano swarm in the corner of window, and a turret back by attacker spawn here. So they're ready for this blast pack satchel charge ultimate combo that we've seen from Team Secret before, and it's perfectly poised to counter it. So this is this bio with prep. Like if he comes in here, he's got the prep time as a coach. He brings it in, and he has them ready for these set plays that Team Secret wants to run. They counter it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that's just such a standard one at this point. Oftentimes, it's obviously going to be the Jet with, the Blade Storm, or even sometimes we just see it with a Phantom in hand. And you go for that set play, the fault line comes across, you try to get the stuns out, rush through that window, and come up with multiple kills. They say, hey, look, he's got this showstopper. Everybody back away.
Yeah.
Get this preset util. It's a very well done round. I think, obviously from both sides, Secret, they feel like they have the upper hand in this moment. They think they can catch them off guard, but Gen G just one step ahead in that regard.
Yeah. There was one particular round where they came really darn close, where Meteor looks like he is about to clutch.
Yeah, I mean, there was some, it just goes to show, like, we wanted Meteor to level up. Envy, by the way, big shout out to him. He was super impactful in getting all of the rounds that Secret were able to get at the beginning, but then Meteor nearly pulls this off. Jesse Vash, last man standing at the very end, manages to find him. That's a clutch that didn't quite work out, that still looked flashy. This is one that did go Gen G's way.
Dude.
In a thrifty, King comes in. He's got the lone rifle here in the Vandal, finds 2 quick kills. Everybody else suddenly dead. He knows that there's pressure from the lower left coming out of Garage. 𝐵𝑜RKUM is in that position, so he creeps out, takes this shot of damage, almost dies, just jumping to get tucked away. And then he just reads this perfectly. The tap is being spiked, or the spike is being tapped. Nice, good job, me. See, I'm still broken from yesterday's game. The spike is being tapped multiple times. King does not once swing until 𝐵𝑜RKUM is actually legitimately sticking for the half hold. He read the situation absolutely beautifully. Now we're talking about 𝐵ORKUM. This map, we did not achieve 𝐵ORKUM time. It didn't happen. We're still waiting for it to arrive on our clocks. Instead, it was TS who very much had the upper hand from the outset as the controller player in this lobby.
Yeah, TS here, this is everything you could have wanted from him and more. I mean, I said earlier, I really like him on Brimstone, but his Omen, of course, is quite good as well. And again, you can see why, these teams are comfortable on Haven. They have such good reads on it, time and time again, whether it be 𝐼𝘍𝑚𝑖 with 𝐼𝘍𝑚𝑖, former teammates, they know each other very, very well. On sister teams together, working together for a very long time. They have very good reads on this map. They have very similar ideas at some times. But again, TS, I got to give him a ton of credit. The way that he was changing pace on their attacker side from time to time, the way that he was, like they talked about on the cast, moving the chess pieces around the board, seemingly putting the right pieces in the right place at the right time. Like that A hit that ended up working, I think it was around like 15 or 16 or something, for the side of Team Secret. They still had the right defenses there. It just didn't quite go their way.
I am curious how this is going to go into the next map with Fracture Game 2, because this one is Secret's pick. Gen G, William was talking a bit about this, how Gen G might not be so comfortable on this map.
Yeah,
Bhavin तो है ही नहीं भाई किधर. Bhavin stream नहीं कर रहा है क्या आज?
They were looking impressive. Suggest was going off, and this was also when we didn't have Meteor and 𝐿𝐿𝑃 performing to the level that we just
Channel
saw.
switch.
They didn't have the tissue in the nostril. Now they're starting off with it. 𝐿𝐿𝑃 realizing the error of his way. But I am also still fairly concerned about Fracture coming in. Even though we pointed out, Secret have yet to win one of their map picks. I think that they are going to be feeling really confident because Gen G, they've shown 2 different strategies so far as their composition layout. Having Eco come in, playing either the Neon or playing the Breach. I don't think we're going to see much differentiation here. I think they're going to settle on one of those 2 and try to just continue forward and basically say, okay, it was an off day, we can still run this composition. I'm curious to see which one it is, because as we see, Eco is in and Sylvan is out. What I would love to see is the double duelist. I want to see Meteor on that race. I want to see Eco playing on the Neon while having 𝐿𝐿𝑃 stick with the Breach that we just saw him do incredibly well with on Haven here in the Fracture.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'd rather see their Neon comp. I find that to be a little bit more impactful, especially on the attacker side, which is arguably the more important side of Fracture for most teams. So, especially the Korean teams, they seem to really, if they can have a good Neon, like you see with RB with 𝐷RX, but particularly Eco here, it does look like it's going to be the standard one that Gen G has been running so far the last couple matches that they've played Fracture. The double controller, double initiator with the Raze. On the other side, same thing here that we saw previously for the side of Team Secret. That Cypher in there is kind of a differentiator, an actual sentinel to kind of control some of those flanks, to try to keep your opponents from being able to utilize one of the 2 flank angles from either site, right? Because each site has 2 different main angles of flank. If you don't include spawn for the defender side. I'm with 𝐿𝐿𝑃 here that I would much prefer the Neon. I think that just has a lot more impact if you have a strong Neon player.
my eyes go a couple places here with Gen G, because again, they're running this setup, but one of the other things is that we don't have the Brimstone. I think you can easily run the Brimstone alongside with the Viper for that double controller instead of the Yeoman. It gives you so many tools, the Orbital Strike, the Molly, great delay things when it comes down to stopping the plants from coming through. Additionally, while they are running this, obviously King has to play the Viper. This means that they are going to be lacking that crucial sentinel with Cypher to try to slow down the entries or even that kill.
क्या फिर ये Secret
flush people out of the sites
आज discipline में क्यों नहीं खेल
I'm
रहे
hoping
भाई?
that they've cleaned it up here to try to get this win, but I'm also not going to be too upset
हाँ
with map 3.
अरे
Yeah,
वो
so that is the
first
remaining
half ही
question.
अपने
Is Team Secret
उनके
gonna
favor
win
में
this
रहता
game
था.
3, or is this
Discipline
it?
में खेलते
Let's
2-3
kick off
round
the
को.
game 2 with William and Quack.
Alt होने के बाद भी retake का plan है, फिर भी वो side पे मार रहा है
Lovely gentlemen over at the desk. We're getting ready for Fracture now. Obviously, the desk already broke down the compositional differences, but now Gen G did make a change. They're not coming in straight with the same thing, right? They're bringing the Omen in instead of the Astra. Not exactly the controller that it is the controller that TS selects here against Team Secret.
I have to say that I kind of don't fully agree with 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝙋𝙋. I'm sorry for this one. Because we already have so many post-plant utility. We have Breaches Aftershock, we got KO's Fragment, we got Pink Shells, we got Toxic Screen. I could go on. There
is a lot, yeah. But maybe not enough. Maybe, but maybe not enough.
That's the thing, right? Because you have this Omen as the pseudo-initiator, you have a paranoia that can send out things, and then at the same time, you might not have a full-on Sentinel, but that's why Viper is here. You're here to be that defensive controller, just to anchor down sights, and King has shown that he has done that so much, especially on B when he positions himself around tower. So this comes to the mind where I think both teams need to show that they can take risk, break the mold. We don't see that double duelist, but maybe Gen G has something up their sleeves.
Well, Gen G correctly getting the read that there is a potential arcade setup. The 0 point coming in very handy. That's going to allow them to not overcommit yet, but they're not aware at all that Jeremy's already stuck into sewers, and he helps get 3 kills.
Come down.
Yeah, I mean, he picks up the final hit on only 2 of them, but he was good. He was part of all 3, and what a great start for Team Secret.
Keep me under by the tunnel.
I mean, they did.
At the same time,
Spike
drop now, and it's easier for Team Secret just to pick these fights as they watch that angle like a hawk.
There's that paranoia. This is what the Omen does allow you to do. It allows you to be a little bit more mobile and take a little bit more initiative, but
nice.
Is not enough. Dubstep finishing off the pistol round now, finally allowing Secret to get for the first time in the series so far. 1-0.
Yeah, first pistol round win for Team Secret so far. But again, this is why it's a little bit interesting to me, because although this was a Team Secret map pick, they're looking to exploit those weaknesses from Gen G, seeing as how they kind of fumbled against DFM, a little bit against RRQ. It's interesting that Gen G decided to start out on the attacking side. That's why they're going with this composition. That's why they're trying to attack maybe slightly differently, if anything. But back towards tree we go, because this is a pistol round after all. And Team Secret already have this read.
Yeah, so far in the first 2 rounds, what we're seeing is both of them having kind of reads of each other. Now, my big question is, for Gen G, as they most likely all fall here due to the difference in firepower, Gen G, are you using these 0 points because you think you have a read on Team Secret? Or is that eventually going to start to become a telegraph where Team Secret can use it against you, right? Because you're now committing all your forces to this 0.2 rounds in a row. I would love to see that change up in the next 2 rounds.
Because currently it's not doing all that much. You might be getting some information, sure, but you're not really... You're not able to play off of that. At the same time, you might be able to suppress some abilities, but it doesn't really help you pick the fights that you want. If anything, if there's a Cypher playing close range, sure, that might allow for a player like Meteor to actually blast back in, but as we're seeing right now, firepower from Team Secret will reign supreme. Jeremy inching forward to that
and Team Secret, they are prepared to try to run loops around Gen G because they now swap the positions, right? Because 2 times in a row, you've shown the majority of your forces defending B, and the Cypher has yet to be seen. So now they put up the Cypher setup on B. The 0 point has always been used close. Once again, it's being used over by A main. Team Secret catches sight of that, popping off.
This is the Pac-Man strat.
The Pac-Man.
You go around, pick up the all.
Eraser, big time.
1 point away from it.
और spin. ये 3 core चाहिए.
Rushi and Vatsal.
maybe.
हाँ.
Maybe Jeremy picks off that one frag. You get the showstopper, and then what?
नहीं वत्सल का मुश्किल है उसका वीजा नहीं मिला ना.
You're right. They're set up for a retake
Gary.
with lacking firepower. And again, 𝘆𝐼𝙋, he doesn't need to do much than just hold B tower, right?
They successfully Pac-Man A site.
They have. They've already taken over. They know that it's a B hit. So now 𝘆𝐼𝙋 again, his priority just to keep this in control. And 𝐵𝑜RKHM, the read on Gen.G wanting to take more space.
Gen.G, they have to make those moves, and in all of those moves, Team Secret are just reacting to them. Oh, but blinded. Meteor will come up from above. We still have little bits of utility, though. We still have Jeremy with that showstopper. It comes down to whether they can shoot him out of the air, but they just run away.
30 seconds left.
Gen.G, they thought about potentially trying to rotate out, but it's not going to be enough time. Jeremy's getting a little ahead of himself.
Oh my, nice shots from Jer.
No! Instead, it's going to be Meteor! Quick swings back to back, and he finds 3 kills. Now, 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝐿 comes in, and 𝐵𝑜RKHM's the last one left. Going to be caught inside this corner, concussed, and wall banged by 𝐿𝐿𝐷.
Now, I get where Team Secret was at, right? They used the showstopper, and since they can't get the anything off of it, they say, okay, well, we're lacking firepower. Let's go in before Gen.G can fully set up. I get the idea, but here's the thing. I mean, time was against Gen.G. If you just wait, maybe you get at least 1 or 2 more kills, even if you don't get the round win. But they were so focused on that silver lining of potentially getting the win that they started to overheat just a bit.
Not everything comes down to these strats and tactics. Sometimes it's these microaggressions from the players. Gen.G gaining power control, they were able to take down 𝐵𝑜RKHM. And at the same time, the showstopper nullified, but now Jeremy pushes out in towards 𝑑𝐎 and takes back control. A deep smoke coming out from 𝐵𝑜RKHM blocks them off.
So even with a member down, now unfortunately it is the raise for the side of Gen.G, so their entries are quite tough, but when you're up against a Brimstone, yeah, if you start to use smokes, right, if you start to draw them out, then as long as you get the plant, the retake starts to get quite difficult for the side of Team Secret, and that's Gen.G's only hope right now. Smoke count down to 2, Spike lined up for Antenna.
से ये 2 मैप में होने वाला था ना KappA ऐसे.
Without so much movement on the B side, I mean, there's not much mind games going on, right? Team Secret happy to just give this space.
Let them in. Again, same thing. Team Secret, they know they have those
why
guns
is
to fight
𝐵𝑜RKHM
back.
not playing?
In fact, if anything,
I think
they
they
just want to
wanted
hold this crossfire up by the A site, block it off.
to get something
all
on board.
𝘆𝐿𝐼𝙋 and
Maybe they
𝐵𝑜RKHM are trying
wanted
to do
more
is to
firepower.
delay it, buy time,
Or maybe they
get
just
that
wanted to
information,
give him a
and try to pick
chance
them
and
off
see
one
how
by
it
one
goes
if
with him.
possible.
The
And that's what
PAPERX
these
recently
cameras,
were
that's what
not
these
doing
smokes
that
and
great,
traps are
right?
here for.
जो मैप में 𝐵𝑜RKHM भी खेल रहा है, 𝘆𝐼𝙋 is the IGL.
Still has
I
that
think they
camera
have
up as
stopped
well,
IGL
hasn't
now.
activated yet.
That's why we have Phantom.
I mean, this is, again, a play for time, right? Team Secret just trying to run the clock down against Gen.G.
I don't think time is going to work. The one is that shot from 𝐿𝐿𝐷. A second one, it's a tap. Instant hits, gone. And now flashing out, they try to press the initiative, but King holds the off angle and strikes them down at the right time. Second win for Gen.G.
May he reign just a bit longer to bring home the victory here for Gen.G, as not only does he dodge the flash, he's good for both enemies coming out of that poison cloud. What is going on here? And then King just holds for 2. These two players have really been carrying Gen.G so far.
Not a WhatsApp person.
I mean, King was doing it back at lock-in as well, even though they don't win a map.
बहुत सारे messages ऐसे ही पढ़ रहे थे मैं बहुत. Not a messages person in general.
As we are. They've been trying to do everything right, but it's not really working out. Now we're back to a little bit of tunnel control for 𝐵𝑜RKHM, but he gets a little bit curious. Hearing that dark cover sent out, he's gonna get punished for it.
Hectic था.
Okay, now very crucial to think. Okay, so I was about to say, very crucial to consider the fact that so many members of Gen.G are 1 or 2 points away from their ultimate. You are on an eco, you are already down 4-5, and then just prove me wrong by getting 2 shots through the wall, 𝐿𝐼𝙋, because now you do have hope of winning this round. I was gonna say, maybe you just died to the spike, but maybe not. Maybe you complete your ultimate.
It still is an FPS after all. The guns, the shooting matters. And sometimes just 𝐵𝑉𝐻 with a sheriff is all you need. But maybe not now. Not now that King is here. And you'll be forced to kneel. 2 to 3.
These are the times that I just out
Cap
myself.
किधर है? Cap ऊपर रह गया.
Everyone's listening to this cast are like, yeah, that's the
Cap.
guy that like calls to save as soon as he loses a member every round in solo queue. I'm like, no, that's not actually how I play, but I'm just literally saying, listen, there's a lot left to this first half. Now, obviously, 𝐵 still good for 2 there up on B tower, so no, you can't blame him for trying after that.
Still, things are getting interesting now. Gen.G with the 3 ultimates up their sleeves. Maybe a set play, but no, they just anticipate this push coming in from Team Secret.
They realize, Team Secret, obviously most teams on Fracture defense, they will push out eventually, but Team Secret actually uses this against them. A counter time, TS now has the pinch though. 𝐵 not able to clean up any of them.
But MxB will come back in to pick up the pieces. A little bit of a flash, but he dodges it and still stays behind this box. Fragment flushes him out of position, but he still looks for a head. He's able to find the 3rd, maybe the 4th. 𝐵, you are gone!
Envy. That's the Envy that people were cheering for when Team Secret played their first match here in VCT Pacific. He's back in form here on Fracture, and I also just want to point out the reason we keep talking about the expectations for this guy is because he set them so high for himself, right? I mean, he played fine on Haven, but we're used to seeing him pop off like this.
In which role do you think Golu brings the best results?
He is comfortable under pressure.
According to me,
find the comfort in the discomfort.
Controller
That's one of those things that he excels in. 3 to 3 now, and we've kind of swapped sides. Team Secret are the ones with the ultimate in their hands, looking to contest for this dish push.
They have the Rolling Thunder as well. They have the Rolling Thunder as well. Team Secret, they want to push out. This has been telegraphed. TS left behind. And now the showstopper, the clean house triple kill for Jeremy. And the round falls apart. It's all down to King and 𝐿𝙊𝙉. The 2 heroes now down to 1.
Nice. Flawless. Let's go.
Team Secret, they are not holding back. I mean, we saw the setup already, the fault line to set up for the teammates over by 𝐷𝐿, but then just saying, you know what, we're already here. Let's commit the Rolling Thunder. We still got a couple other ultimates for the coming rounds.
We know there are players here. We know we can get them. We have the showstopper, and we're just going to make him pay.
Jeremy, he put up some
उसको बोले ज़्यादा लोड मत ले ये वो करने का जो बोल रहे उतना कर ले.
0-1 in this best of 3. They know that it's not time to celebrate just yet. There's still a long way to go. They're barely holding on to this lead. 4-3 on Fracture against Gen.G.
Interesting timeout call at this moment,
for any official call or meeting, please you have to contact 𝑉𝑐T. He will help you out with the same.
To Team Secret's momentum, if anything. I don't know if they're going to be able to cook up a plan to fight back against this dish control that Team Secret so clearly has. And dish control is something that gives them maybe a little bit more freedom to actually push back into attacker side spawn.
There's a fan cheering for one of the Korean commentators. Which, by the way, that's the commentator that actually used to be the old coach for FQ when they went to Masters Berlin.
But he was not that
so he's now
comfortable.
commentating. It also said,
but
please
now
everyone,
I think he might have played a lot more.
Challenges Korea as
I'm
well.
not sure.
Everyone just pay a lot of attention to all the challenge leagues because there's a lot of great players in those leagues as well in each region. But right now, all eyes on Team Secret and Gen.G here in VCT Pacific. And I love what you called out, right? The type of control that Team Secret is showing over on 𝐷𝐿, and then they push back out on Arcade. 𝐷𝐿, and then it's Tree. 𝐷𝐿, and then it's Arcade again. Yeah, I mean, going in a lot of different ways here. And now Team Secret says, okay, just hold a safe default, right?
Yes.
Wait for Gen.G to use their utility, because what is one of their strengths is that they use their abilities that are on cooldowns to try to bait out the opponents. And Team Secret says, we're not biting. We've seen this from you guys.
Let them show their hands. If anything, Gen.G are going to spend
मैं तो बोलता हूँ टैलोन वाला को try करना चाहिए triple duelist.
Positions from the Team Secret players. This is the evil that we see. 2 on B, 3 on A. Now, as soon as the ultimate was committed, they rotate on over. With the 𝐵 not looking for his location just yet. In fact, it's going to be his teammate there.
Must judge लेके खेल रहे थे लोग.
Screen. 1 player down now, and that's going to be King.
And King had the Viper's Pit as well. I mean, surely there's orbital command from the other side, so it is a little risky, but they're already down 1. The paint shows are good against 𝐿𝐽𝐿𝐼𝐹 as well. Team Secret trying to see if they perhaps don't even need the orbital command Meteor. Hiding behind 2 smokes, and then he tries to peek in to buy more time, and he's ready for him. It all comes down to TS, but he's up against all 5 members, and he gets revealed.
Oh, but a little bit smart with the Shrouded Step. He managed to evade death for that time being. But now, Dubstep looking to suss him out. They flash him, they push in, they get the right click. It's going to be 𝐵 with the spray at the end. 5-3.
भाई जेनजी को ये कॉम बदलना चाहिए भाई KappA.
Getting dominated after their own timeout. We don't see this every day, right? 𝐵 usually has a very good read, and not to put this on any one coach or player, but whatever the read was, which
इसके लिए तो बोल रहा हूँ.
Once you find whatever information or lack thereof, just commit with the null command. At least get the spike down and then hold position.
But that didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, Team Secret says, well, what if we just make it a 5v4 before the spike goes down? And 𝑔 didn't have an answer for that question on the exam.
Because that's the thing about the null command. It pulses, it reveals your location with every movement, every 5 seconds. And Team Secret knows how to spray through the talk screen because of that. They're actually switching up positions this time. That's what I like about this play, because you have Dubstep now on the A site.
Talon के सामने क्या लग रहा है? जीतेगी जीत सकते हैं bro. Talon देखो मुझे इतनी नहीं पसंद है इनका play style.
Yeah, he is scratched up.
Favorite है बाव इनकी, झूठ बोल रहा है.
Ready to get taken out off of a single shot from really any of these weapons that they're holding. Meteor actually is going right now while he is going for a headshot. Please. Surely 𝐵𝘍𝑘𝑚 was looking at his watch, right? Trying to check if it was 𝐵𝘍𝑘𝑚 time perhaps, but guess what? It wasn't. Because Meteor comes out. No, just not yet. Still.
अंदर जाके बाहर वापस.
It's been a lot of time, but still not happening just yet. And all right, well, I mean, 𝑔 with lack of firepower, but power in numbers.
30 seconds
now,
left.
they still have to clear these trap wires, right? And they do have, they do have a raise. They do have this blast packs. It's doable.
Comes down to Jeremy and his anchoring potential. His teammates possibly from the spawn itself, but no! Pressured from main. It's going to be Dubstep who sprays through with the Phantom. Getting quick double now. The rest of them, he's got the camera.
10 seconds left.
Making a little bit more noise, but Meteor, you've said it before, Will, he's going to get at least one, but not this time. Dubstep. He's here to dance all over their graves.
कैमरा में देख रहा है.
𝐵𝘍𝑘𝑚 holds down the site, and this is the leisure you can have if you have a great Cypher.
समझ में आएगा पूछा उसने.
Right, Quack, you called it out. They're changing up the Cypher
कैमरा में देखते
round. Sometimes it's just within each site, but then once they read the pattern from 𝑔, they throw a curveball, put the Cypher on the other side.
तो करना पड़ेगा defense का chance ही.
Yes.
वरना तो ना हो पाई ये कॉम.
Sure, I mean, of course, we should also know it's an eco for 𝑔, so it was already an uphill battle, but the way that Dubstep is set up for this, right? The way that he's checking his angles, the way that he's covering. Oh, and the stare down. He wants 𝑔 to remember that one.
Like you
Chat alive.
He did get that support from Envy. That flash point was perfect. Still firepower on their sides. Now 𝑔 gets to fight back. Let's see how position switch up this time.
पता नहीं.
Okay, so we just saw 𝑔 this time throw the 0 point. They weren't ready to pounce on it either way. So now they're also trying to fish out for a little bit more of a response from Team Secret. Team Secret also not doing it right. Off of that, they actually pushed out of a main if we looked at the mini-map.
वो हिसाब से Talon खेल रहा लग तो नहीं रहा उन लोग qualify होने वाले हैं.
Obviously it was smoked off, so everyone's just kind of hidden from each other.
The only way this works out for 𝑔 is if they
league में scream खेल रहे हो लोग.
Maybe find one pick, maybe bait some rotations over, and then make a play. But teams
मेरे को लगा हम लोग कोच लाएंगे, अगर नया लाएंगे तो कोई ऐसा tactical लाएंगे. लाए हैं 𝐵𝘍𝑘𝑚 का भी उन लोग का style ही अलग है खेलने का.
𝑔 rather is actually able to get rid of just some Cypher utility. They'll be able to actually make a move one way or the other, but TS has no idea that he's being watched this entire time. This has been all red. Z's coming in to buy time. The smokes. 𝑔, they have to rush.
But I did not quite expect Meteor to come up from behind. And now the pressure is on for Team Secret to fight against this King. What a place to deploy this Viper's Pit. Completely blocking off Sam as well as attacker side spawn. He even holds it down. They try to push up on top of him, but he gets out of dodge. King, the entire reason he puts up the pit is just to buy time and space for the spike to go down. But it wasn't even just the pit, it's actually his duels that allows the spike to go down. Jeremy
star player, but it's too tough against the 3 members left alive for 𝐿𝐽𝐿. 𝐿𝐽𝐿 claw back, now making it 4-6.
Sometimes that's all we need. We go back to basics. That's what a Viper's Pit really is. It's just a big old smoke.
It's pretty big, but it is still just smoke.
Yep. He's able to dance around that. And then to shoot down whoever tries to get up on drop. 𝐿𝐽𝐿 securing the side itself as well.
Okay, I have a counter question. Why are you positive?
6-4, not so bad for 𝐿𝐽𝐿. They can still claw their way back into this one. 2 more rounds, and we'll have even things out.
Yeah, and I like that you called out the usage of the Viper's Pit, because too often do we see teams say,
logic
well, Viper's
Pit
is so strong, yeah, let's use it for the most ideal scenario, right? And then you often just see it rotting.
समझ रहा है मेरे को?
Viper, right? The toxins all just dissolving into the air, they no longer hold their power, and it just doesn't happen anymore. But King is actually one of those players who just says, you know what, just commit.
I don't
like, I'm
think
just commit,
is that
and I'm actually going to trust in my duels around my utility, including the Viper's Pit, which puts him at the top of a lot of our kind of watch list for who's going to shine here in VCT Pacific. Now, Team Secret, they had 𝐿𝐽𝐿 try to claw back
experiment करते हैं भाई जो work करे तो experiment करने के लिए screens भी है.
Now they say no, we want to make sure we clean this out 8-4. We want to get as much of an advantage as we can here on the defensive side, especially with that Cypher in play.
Hence the timeout. They also have to watch out for some of the utility, the ultimates inside of 𝐿𝐽𝐿. From the shadows is not a small thing to be laughed at. Rolling Thunder even more so.
Yeah, but I think they're going to push out. If the 0 point came, they were trying to fault line right off of it. But this time it's a deeper 0 point. A nice little change from 𝐿𝐽𝐿.
Just holding the angle, trying to thread the needle. Set up for Jeremy to swing. Paranoia still touches him as he dances back into the boxes. The paint shells will force them to be dispersed. Jeremy now swings out, gets one straight shot. 𝐿𝐽𝐿 still holding it down though. And Jeremy continues to play from the boxes. Support has arrived. The form of Minby now. A second paint shell's deployed. And King still going in.
King taking advantage of the fact that, you know what, Team Secret, they now have to
निकाल भाई
to
dubstep.
this. Meanwhile, 𝐿𝐽𝐿 down to literally 1 HP, but the problem was Jeremy, while he was good for kills, he was stuck, so his teammates had to come help fight. But at the end of the day, final boss King still alive.
chill कर पूरा.
Wingman plan
even if it's 1 HP, it is still a 2v1.
Harbor wall का पर एक चीज समझो ना.
You know what,
अगर
actually,
कोई हार्बर वो स्मोक के अंदर चला गया तो तुम्हारा ये भी चला गया ना.
doesn't even have one full person.
Spike.
Spray transfer as long as he's not as long as he's not getting hit by a headshot.
भागो!
Oh my god, he's running away. 20 seconds.
तब तक आ जाएगा सेटअप अपना. सही है. Crossing के लिए कुछ नहीं है. दोनों को पहल दे उधर ही.
And so they have to just run, and if King gets killed, 𝐿𝐽𝐿 has to be ready for the trade.
Oh, 𝐿𝐽𝐿. He's got a trap.
Oh,
the flash drive! Oh, no! 1 HP, ready for the trade!
What just happened? I cannot.
What a brilliant 2v1 though, right? They suspect the Cypher utility to be there. They throw the poison cloud to bait him into staring into the flash drive. He even dodges the flash. But then, and God, that they jump over this one-way to not get spotted first.
Oh my god.
And 𝐿𝐽𝐿 able to land the shot. I mean, so many layers to that. Break that one down for me on the desk afterwards, because what a brilliant 2v1.
I can't even speak anymore, Will. Oh, and then they flash through again. Team Secret, their holds are starting to fall apart. A main control gone. A side control gone. Paranoia to push him back. Dubstep still trying to fight in for this.
Nice TP.
But he just switches up.
सुन लिया लेकिन.
What is this?
अरे मार
He
दिया.
was trying to clear just as well, create a crossfire. TS does get taken out,
कोशिश
but
अच्छी थी.
the site is free.
लेकिन dubstep भाई.
They get the information here from the neural theft, but it's not going to be enough. It's nothing new. It's all positions that both teams are aware of. 𝐿𝐽𝐿 not phased at all by that ultimate. And we're starting to see the game get shaky again from Team Secret. They thought they had the momentum.
Oh, and he's just buying time.
Yeah, I mean, again, these ultimates, they don't always have
वो बोला 1 HP पे मारा तो अभी तो मार ही दूंगा.
Time, trade space, whatever it might be. And King, good for
680.
another.
Yes, I want Golu to play the
Suddenly we're tied up 6-6.
जी को कितने मैचेस जीतने होंगे क्वालिफाई होने के लिए? मुझे लगता है 4 क्यों 4 और 5 4 में वो लोग को अच्छा रेशियो रखना पड़ेगा।
हाँ पर अभी अपना राउंड डिफरेंस अच्छा ही है कप्पा हाल फिलहाल तो as compared to जो बाकी
हाँ बाकी के नीचे वाले 2 के साथ 3 के साथ।
By the way, I'm pretty sure that flash drive on
लेकिन ये लीग है कभी भी चेंज हो जाता है।
वही ना अपने को अगर 5 जीत गए तो पक्का क्वालीफाई है।
हाँ
happened so quickly there. Got a glimpse of it on that replay as well, but either way, 𝐿𝙊𝘾𝐿, the flash drives have been very, very good. King coming in when needed most, right? He doesn't have
top 4 team कौन सी लगती है आपको जो VCT चैंपियन जीत सकती है? Fnatic, 𝘼𝐼𝑋, NRG, Cloud.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Jeremy, he's doing whatever he can to put up the numbers on the board, but they're not hefty enough numbers to carry the entire team forward.
जी जीतेगी क्वालिफाई होगी हमेशा जी जब नेक्स्ट पे आता है तभी क्वालिफाई होता है ना लेकिन वो जी के प्लेयर्स अलग थे ये जी के प्लेयर्स अलग हैं
तुमने मेरे को टॉप 4 पूछा मेरे हिसाब से
When it comes down to it, that was still just a firefight, a position that was easily pinned down by King and friends.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like that you called out that round because you could see the idea that, you know, Secret understands that they needed to do something different. Yes. So they set up a trap play instead of pushing out to try to win
strong
the
mindset
trades,
तो है
it's not
mindset
clean enough to the
strong
point where Jeremy
होना
can get out
चाहिए
safely. So
लेकिन
then they
थर्ड
actually
मैप में
keep
क्या हो जाता है पता
committing
नहीं
more backups
Garaman winning it
to
all.
try to get Jeremy. I mean, it turns into saving
Guys,
Private Jeremy out there on arcade, and eventually
क्या जीत रहा है
doesn't
कैरामल
quite complete the mission.
Carmine Corp.
कारमाइन कॉर्प अच्छा
Definitely not.
मेरे को गाइस बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद आता
Where is our captain in all of this? Where has 𝐵𝐻 been?
He's racking his brain. So is Coach Warbirds, of course. I mean, they've shown so much promise. This squad, they've shown so much potential on what can be done when you start to clean up the fundamentals, but keep the wild firepower, right? You know, whether it's even some of the veterans like Dubstep, 𝐵𝐻𝐾, even 𝐺𝑠TPACIFICWATCH, but then you have these youngsters like Envy and Jeremy rounding out the squad. They've shown what they're capable of. Now they're up against a Gen.G who learned their lesson against DFM last week. They lost this fracture map, and now they've cleaned it up.
See that they're trying to go lesser with microaggressions. Off the timeout from 𝐵𝐼𝑋, they're just sussing out information. This time playing so safe. 2 controllers stacked up on the A site, Will.
Yeah, and the paranoia was used to buy time, and then the toxic screen actually to make sure they can simply hold on to the site. Just give up sands if needed. Let's just hold on to the site and force a rotate out of Team Secret. Meanwhile, TS is even sussing out the potential for this lurk. It's a Cypher on the other team. You have to suspect it.
Well, continues to move forward, but close range. The Frenzy will be able to strike down Dubstep first.
There's more members. Now the Haunt will spot them, so it's no surprise for Team Secret, but they have to push now. This is their one window.
I don't know if it's going to work, though. The right click still able to connect. Now 𝐵𝐻𝐾 going in from the smokes itself. 1-on-2. He does have a Frenzy. But look at all these positions being covered up by Gen.G's players. Just a little sliver. And Meteor doesn't expose himself all that much. A headshot to seal the deal. Gen.G takes the pistol.
Gen.G playing that very calmly, right? Buying enough time just to hold on to the site. Give up sands if needed. As long as we don't give up the spawn, they're just stuck there anyway by the rope. Then they just flood the site. And Meteor actually working in and out of, you know, his teammates. Toxic screen there as well to be good for one. And hey, we're back to Marshall.
Oh, Meteor.
Hey, it's Meteor. What do you expect, right? You win the pistol.
Even if you don't, थोड़ा इधर-उधर हो रहा है.
This Marshall come out. The flash is good. He knows that this is where they're positioned.
नवा कुछ बताओ.
And he uses the paint shells to try to flush them out again. Apply a bit of pressure so he can re-peek once more. Gets the pick and then falls back.
पता नहीं कौन किसको हरा दे.
And now without any smokes.
Chances तो है. कोई भी किसी को भी हरा दे.
Without any of that support, Team Secret, you don't have much you can do as the attacking side on an eco like this.
Oh my god.
Enemy remaining.
खत्म.
Well, that ended
Tata.
rather
Bye
more
bye.
abruptly than even I thought it would.
In all of this happening, Gen G
अभी नहीं
finds that momentum. 5
नहीं
rounds
राउंड
in
का
a row
बात कर
counts for once for the last half. And this gives them more confidence. If anything, Team Secret are the ones being forced to try to do something different every round. And it becomes a bit of that trial and error process. Something that's so risky that you have to start
अरे बहुत
considering.
व्यूअर्स रहेंगे, बहुत चैट आता रहेगा तो कैसे पड़ेगा वो? सबका थोड़ी बढ़ सकता
would be
है.
huge for Gen G if they actually
आजकल सूर्या भी अच्छा खेल रही है.
What you just called out with things like the momentum.
सूर्या थी या MI भी अच्छा नहीं, सूर्या थी है. दोनों में से एक कोई तो टीम थी.
MI भी है.
MW जरा किसमें है?
Because of this, Team Secret, they're not rushing anything, right? They know the onus is on Gen G. Jeremy trying to get 2 kills now. Teammates there to make sure the weapon is not upgraded on the side of Gen G. They're just going to recover that, keep that away from Gen G.
नहीं, मैं वेयर में.
किधर देख रहा है भाई पागल?
Camera.
A bit more presence on the other side of the map, something that maybe Gen G wasn't quite expecting, but so was the off angle. Thankfully, Dubstep is here to make it a trade.
ऑन ऑफ कर रहा रहेगा ना इसके पहले.
No one's rotating over from the bridge. So we're only left with vendor spawn or tree.
They didn't take away the Phantom. They didn't have
एक और भी गन नहीं जाना चाहिए अभी इनका.
Oh no.
So an upgrade comes into play for Gen G. This is absolutely doable. Now sure,
चलो सुन
favor
लिया.
still goes to Team Secret, but here's the thing, Team Secret, if they
नहीं
lose
सुनाई
any
दिया
more
क्या?
members, even more armor, it doesn't feel great.
I'm a little bit anxious, Will, but I have to believe Team Secret, they should have...
Oh, Gen G's not going for the win. They're literally going for damage, and it's working! What? They're just sending King to do it because you have Eco saving the Phantom!
Player standing.
They've done the damage they want! Gen G sending in their strongest player today and perhaps so far in the entirety of
लेकिन
Gen
इकोनॉमी
G here in
डैमेज तो
Pacific.
किया है भाई.
King,
हाँ ठीक है
go
पर
do whatever more
इतना
damage
नहीं.
you can. We already got a
ऐसा
free
बोलना है.
upgrade.
राउंड में कुछ नहीं था बोलने के लिए तो अभी कर रहे हैं.
Fine, yeah.
And now they can even afford...
वैसे मेरे को कास्टर्स बहुत पसंद है पर पहली बार ऐसा लगा कि फालतू में कुछ हाइप किया.
Well, okay, let's see where the operator position is gonna be.
एंजल वो जेट
Now it
से
looks like it's gonna be a push out of arcade. Now, if you wanna commit to this arcade push, though, you're gonna have to really hope.
तो कैरमन कॉर्प बेस्ट है हाँ भाई.
Either much deeper and then help clear sewers, or you're just gonna check and then fall back.
किसको?
Looks like it might be the latter.
Angel?
With how this toxic screen is set up.
आरतीस बोलना है क्या?
All right, 𝐿𝐿𝐿 actually able to get that on the peak.
So he falls back.
कहना क्या चाहते हो भाई?
Jeremy continuing to press up front though, and in all that time, King, Meteor, they're just lying in wait.
Oh my! Yeah, that's one of those times where it starts to feel.
प्ले स्टाइल में थोड़ा सा
very
चेंज किया
scary.
इसके लिए आदेश की जगह पे.
That will still happen. He takes a lot of damage.
विक्टर भैया
but
जेट खेल रहे.
Good thing for Team Secret is that, okay, Gen G has an operator, right? No retake is going to feel great here. What can they do?
और
Well, King could just start winning every duel one by one.
He is that king on the chessboard. One piece by one piece, he gets all of them. Not unless some players from Team Secret can counter
नसीब
this.
भाई.
They
नहीं
do
तो
have
अभी
that
होने वाला था
ultimate
कांड.
utility. Incendiary now
मौली
deployed just to
डालूंगा
burn down the
मैं.
timer.
मौली डालूंगा.
Enemy
He's
remaining.
not getting
चीज
hit
हो
by it.
रहा है.
CS gets his hold in.
पता है.
No!
है
It
KappA.
lands right beyond the other side of the box. And
Backup बोलते हैं.
TS finds not only a spot to defuse, but also to hide at the same time.
हाँ विक्टर अच्छा ही खेलता था
A
ड्यूलिस्ट.
crucial mistake coming up from Borkum, and that allows Meteor, despite having so little health, to just hold the angle, cover for TS.
Sniper Overwatch was something that I
ये VCT के कास्टर्स काफी अच्छे हैं भाई.
especially because he was
अपने
that
कास्टर के साथ तो
low.
कंपेयर ही मत करना.
Surely.
तो म्यूट पे देखना पड़ता है
Single
आधे
spray
सारे.
would have done the trick, but look at how sharp Meteor is. More aces up their sleeve.
इनको गेम
and we
समझता
have
है.
chess
लॉजिक पता है
pieces on the
प्लेस
side
का.
of Gen
क्यों
G.
करते हैं क्या करते हैं.
Being swapped out for Queens. So much
इकोनॉमी के
cover
बारे
being
में बात
provided,
करते हैं.
so many players to look out
अल्टीमेट्स
for.
के बारे में बात करते हैं.
Timeout being
रिटेक्स कैसे
forced
होने
for
वाले
Team
क्यों होने
Secret.
वाले किसने
and
मिस्टेक
just
किया वो
to be
समझते
in
हैं.
Team
अपने
Secret
कास्टर्स को
should
क्या
be
समझते हैं.
end, right? I mean,
डिलीट हो गया.
yeah, Meteor
Opa
was
ji
low,
should
but I
get
think at
offer
the
from
same time,
PRX to
probably
be
what
asked
they're
for.
thinking is, oh, I think they
What
have
is
someone
assistant
sitting the
coach?
defuse, so then you're
नहीं
just trying
भाई.
to wide swing, dodge the operator, get the
Let's
spike
see.
diffuser first,
जब
right?
आएगा
Make
तब
sure
देखा जाएगा.
that you can still keep the round alive, but Meteor doesn't miss
Sorry,
a
sorry,
single
Utkar,
one there
I'm
at the
very
end. He
sorry,
lifts a
गलती से
couple
हो
in the
गया.
beginning, and he
Time-
redeems himself right away.
अभी टाइम आउट निकाल नहीं सकता.
9-7 Secret, I think
कुछ
this
लोग
time
हैं
more than
उनको
anything,
आता है
it's
बात
gotta
करने
be
को
used to
गेम में
calm
क्या
your
चल रहा है
players
उसके
down,
अराउंड.
right? I mean, yes, Gen G, they're taking the lead, but It's
लेकिन
not that far off.
वो लोग ज़्यादा उनको ज़्यादा games cast करने नहीं मिलते.
Based on how these yeah, I mean this one you're gonna have to save a little bit, so it's a half buy. So in theory, 10-7, still very doable. Right? It's not out of this world yet. Yes, Meteor as an operator. There's all sorts of an uphill battle, but
वो क्या है ना कि battleground का casting और FPS game का casting थोड़ा different है. दोनों में. तो वो अगर caster समझ गए ना कि कौन से games का casting के लिए क्या बात करना है, तो हो जाएगा.
Close range duels is where he excels. Spray's still good.
क्या कर रहा है भाई?
Before trade, took down 2 players.
Oh no, I was about to say crucially they still pick up 2 rifles, but 𝐵-𝐷𝐼𝑋 instantly loses one of them. So now the Stinger and a Phantom.
Ulti लेके खेलेंगे दोनों.
𝐿 just sending commands over to me here. Obviously just picking out.
Break angle clear किया, camera भी गया. सही है.
If anything, position so crucial for 𝐼𝑇.
अरे भाई ulti वाले को खा लिया.
Happens as a trade. Dubstep.
Nice.
Steps it. Pulling off the thrifty win for Team Secret.
नसीब भाई hide नहीं हुआ corner में.
हाँ दोनों pick कर लेने.
This is actually pure instincts coming out from Dubstep to be prepared for the fault line.
वो भी surprise हो गया रहेगा भाई.
And it's ready.
Casting easy job नहीं है, मुझे पता है.
I mean a great attempt.
देख मेरे को प्रॉब्लम वो भी नहीं है KappA. अगर तुम्हारा जॉब कास्टिंग है तो रिसर्च तो करके आओ.
Yes.
अपने कास्टर बोलते हैं टेक्निकल टाइम आउट में टीम को डिस्कशन करने मिलता है. कैसे बोल सकते हैं? और अगर वो अलाउड है तो कैसे अलाउड है? In any case it's messed up.
This is where it also gets risky for Team Secret. You never quite know if Gen.G might be hiding. That's why the utility has to be sustained. Aftershocks come in, and it forces him out of
मारेंगे तो सब
a little bit too aggressive, but thankfully Borkum is here to trade. Nightfall onto the site now, and they will be able to split up and conquer.
Okay, they did have to invest in Nightfall, but obviously they want to be very sure to tie this up. Now the members in main were not tagged, so they don't know how many are coming from here.
Not bad.
Yeah, but Meteor gets shut down immediately, and they're ready for it. Team Secret. Cleanly taking this back, tying it up 9-9. Still got a couple more ultimates to work with. The map's not over just yet, and that means the series can still go to map 3 onto Lotus if we make it there.
A map where both teams will have a lot to show.
This is a nice spot.
But 3 ultimates versus 3 ultimates in this round, and it comes down to how Gen.G might retake, how
जो लाइनअप
ये हमेशा होता है KappA Gen.G के साथ मालूम है इको राउंड में लोग फास्ट उनके ऊपर स्प्लिट करते हैं और उन लोग इको हार जाते हैं
फफल्स
हमेशा अरे नहीं उनका कॉम भी वैसा है ना कि कुछ 3-2 खेलेगा अगर उधर 2 ही लोग हैं तो मुश्किल हो जाता है उनको
क्या
Oh but 𝐿𝐿 actually gets 2 on the exit. He's holding the angle. They're just trying to set at least one of them up for success, and that's too many members lost. TS doesn't have to greed anything here. He can try to go for 1 kill if he gets it. Great. If not, back out with the
upstep. Bye bye.
Saw the hat. God damn. Do they know where he went? Oh,
Bhai.
he's still alive.
Oh,
he's just buying time, toying with his food.
So risky play, लेकिन
and
बढ़िया.
he is able to turn it.
Second वाले को मारना बहुत important है, नहीं तो मर गए थे.
What an amazing
काम
triple
किया
kill.
तो मजा आया नहीं काम
Once
करता है
again,
तो
showing
सजा
the
आती है
comfort that he has on that Omen, right? It just gives him
ये
a little
दो
more to work with
oh
on his own. God, they're just spamming through the box.
भैया जी एक spam मारा एक flash में मारा.
I do think like as opposed to an Astra, this makes a lot more sense. Gaining a little bit more mobility. So on the other side though, just these positions being held up by A main, it's going to be tough for Team Secret to break through, especially if you allow for a player like
Shivendra Kumar, welcome to the stream, bro.
Now they push out. Gen.G constantly changing up the setup they have to fight for A main.
Oh my god, Jeremy.
They were trying to fight for this, and they realized if they hold close, Jeremy's not going to be able to respond in time and pull out the showstopper in time to get the double kill.
ये जब लोग करते हैं
Throw.
Still in the game though. They're back up.
नहीं लेकिन रे यूटिल के पीछे किल लेने के लिए गए लेकिन नहीं हो पाया बस
की तरह रंटी एक-एक करके जा रहे हो
हाँ वो तो ड्यूलिस्ट का स्पेसिंग का हो ही जाता और ओमन भैया उधर क्या कर रहे थे
Then we have that rolling thunder, that orbital strike as a secondary decent ultimate if we need it.
Suppress.
Great intel from 𝐿𝐿𝑆 though.
Yeah, and what a good timing. And oftentimes, if you don't have intel, that 1 minute to 50-second mark is, but then you're going to see the counter intel coming up from Secret. Now, here's the thing. You saw the Viper on the other side. Sure, you're stronger in numbers, but you don't want to go to where the Viper set up. So they're just trying to fake out GG.
Now, just to isolate the lone eco, blocked off by the Sky Smoke as well. They will be able to get the spike plant. Still though, I'm a little bit worried because this is King after all.
Well, and Envy, can he get out? Now they know Envy's stuck.
अरे मत
corner, King able to get the first shot.
अरे अपने agents अपने को ही block कर रहे सब.
Sustaining damage and all these little movements. Please don't burn alive. Dubstep. They turn this into a crossfire setup. King knows that he has to go into it, which will make it.
वो breach का ult किया, बोरकुम ने smoke कर दिया.
Throws the classic.
अभी इसने stun किया breach ने, भाई dubstep ने cage कर दिया.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this King again.
इसका also streaming yes bro. VCT League में relegation भी है क्या? नहीं.
Moves and all the different multiverses that lead to the best scenario of a win, right? I mean, that is literally the best thing you could have done if you're still going to try to go for the fight.
I have to agree. That was that one possible scenario. Pull off that little bit of a fake. Because they have the numbers on the side of Team Secret. They were able to pull that off. If he had landed the shot onto Dubstep, then we would have a whole different story.
Oh, yeah.
In that infinite multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? Because then the 1v1 comes down to two very low health
players. Low timeout.
So, again, King understanding what the win conditions were.
क्या
Unfortunately, Dubstep now just a step ahead. And we've seen Dubstep actually really stepping forward for the team, clutching out a lot of these rounds.
Cypher को पकड़ने के लिए, लेकिन Cypher शायद exit मार लेगा.
Down to a 10-10, but Quack, I gotta say, the score says 10-10, but it feels like Secret, for whatever reason, is still trying to fight for their lives, although they're the ones who have been trying to hold on to the lead. They're the ones who are trying to stay ahead in the second half here.
We have to agree, that's why they are the ones kind of fighting
I am not
so
the analyst
hard.
for G, bro.
Having lost the previous round,
Big time is.
not quite getting the momentum in this
प्रथमेश
one.
हाँ, G
They
को
are trying
अभी
so many
के
different
हिसाब से
ways
सब
and
अच्छे
methods to
opponents ही
break
है
off
भाई.
Gen G's
League में
defenses,
कोई weak नहीं है.
sacrificing showstoppers just to push into A main. And now Gen G calls a timeout. Surely things are switching up again, and it's up to Team Secret to try to find
मेरी
that.
stream थोड़ी पीछे चल रही है, just saying. क्या ही करो
So
अभी.
the judge comes out for 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿.
चलो,
The
fast
hour, that's all
करते हैं.
his, fully his control. They're ditching A main, a big change for Gen G. They've been
मैं
playing so
क्योंकि
much to
YouTube
fight
पे
for A
हूँ.
control.
तू
They're
भी
now
YouTube
trying
पे
to
भाभी.
like their own demons over on A main.
131 पे होगा,
Rolling
130.
Thunder. I like this
29.
choice. You know, go for the angle that you haven't really tried to punish a lot. Get the Rolling Thunder. Now you're set up for a retake.
Not only are they set up for a retake, they're perfectly positioned to resist the B site. Bits of intel coming in, and King already reads this. Snake bite down just to delay. And Team Secret are forced to rotate again. Minute left on the clock, Will.
क्या निकला? दो smoke कर दिए भाई लेकिन.
Yeah, I mean, sure, plenty of time, but if you want to go for another fake, yeah, you do have to leave at least one person behind. So Borkum gonna wait to see if anyone follows through, make sure that they have more information. Now Gen G, they have no interest in fighting for A. They're gonna play for time here.
They don't have to. If Team Secret walks past A main into the site, Rolling Thunder instantly hits them.
Yeah, I mean, Rolling Thunder there. If not, if they think they've missed the timing, they can both push out together to find Dubstep. They know that he's always been.
ये जो पुराना wall डाल रहा है, उसमें वो पहले पता है कैंटीन पे sneak in करते थे, ये wall पे. वो क्यों नहीं try कर रहे हैं लोग?
This is gonna make it a lot safer.
तो
now,
team
Dubstep
खेल
has
रहे
been
हैं ना
spotted,
तो.
so Eco has to turn around. Dubstep actually, really, you just have to stay alive. You just have to stay alive to buy time, but unfortunately.
Okay,
Jeremy now trying to fill.
इसको भी धरने वाले रहे.
Team Secret
Alt
adapting
खींच
to
इधर
that
से
death.
alt खींच भाई.
I don't hate
ये
this.
दोनों को भी धरने वाले मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Spike planted out so much so
अरे
in the
पागल
open
है
that
क्या?
allowed for Team Secret to play it.
Sound सुन लिया है उसने फिर भी क्यों नहीं कर रहा है भाविन?
Borkum
क्या हो गया उसको?
huge on this play from
नहीं
drop.
डाल रहे, alt भी नहीं खींच रहे. काय को
Secures the
छाती पे लेके
position
जाएगा
now.
क्या game होने के
Gen G
बाद?
can only push
जब
in.
side retake के लिए alt
ropes,
बचा
from
है तो
spawn.
side पे ही डालना जरूरी नहीं है.
Easy
जब
read
सामने
for
लोग
Team
आगे है तो
Secret.
डालना उधर ही.
Okay, the smokes are all set up though. Gen G, they want to go for this round win. They're trying to bait out the orbital command as well, I think.
क्या देख रहे हो?
All right, now they exit.
One enemy remaining.
King not able to make it out alive though, so they were really just trying to go in to bait out whatever else they could, do whatever damage they could. But unfortunately, Team Secret, their setup said we don't need to rely on that ultimate just yet. We will win these
दिमाग लगाऊंगा ही
duels
नहीं
and move
अपना।
on to the next round. Economically
रेना क्यों नहीं
speaking,
देखने
Gen
मिलता?
G
कल मिला ना,
not good
टालोन
for
ने
a
लिया था
full
ना रेना।
buy.
और वो गोडेड उसको
Meteor
जज से
coming
क्यों
into
नहीं मार
round
रहा है गोडेड?
22.
And for Team Secret, just to save and secure that match point
Good,
as well,
they
Gen G, seemingly a great setup, having that Rolling Thunder in their pockets, but just foiled
उसका ये हो गया
by
ऑटो
what we
स्विच हो
thought
गया।
was a bit of a blunder, right? We thought that 𝐿𝙊𝙉𝘼 just needed to stay alive. Sure, he might have lost
कुछ
his
तो
life,
फेंकने
but
वाला था शायद।
Jeremy was instantly there to fill that gap.
Yeah, and that was a great call, right? And perhaps that's why 𝐿𝙊𝙼 tries to agree this, because already
Orienting
Jeremy was going
हमको
to try
यही
to
एक
come
दो
take
चीज कभी
control
कभी
of 𝐿𝙊𝙼 anyway.
समझ नहीं आता है कि
𝐿𝙊𝙼 shuts
तुमने
down
डिसाइड किया
King.
ये
They know
करेंगे
that
तो
they're
अरे
ahead in
सामने सिचुएशन
firepower.
बदला है तो
Marshals across the
कुछ
board
बदलना पड़ेगा
for
ना।
Gen G, but the
भाई,
lone
क्या
rifle
यार।
on TS. Fighting as if it's
3 मार्शल एक
more than
राइफल
just
था,
one
राइफल से 2
rifle. I mean,
किल।
TS said, you guys need 5 parts to make one TS. Well, it's just me over here. It's the same
उसको पता
value.
नहीं होगा
Can he
कैसे
prove
नहीं
it?
पता उन लोगों ने फ्लैश
This one
करके आवाज
vandal.
किया।
I don't know how any of them get alive from that moment, but they all do.
Oh, and now Meteor has the angle as well. Team Secret, surely they'll continue to push past this. Hot so low.
एक और चाहिए क्या?
And they try to reaggress back into the door. 𝐿𝙊𝙍 still holding it. And
मारने
then
वाले हैं।
we have 𝐼𝐾𝐾 up by spawn. Meteor still the angle up the ropes.
Now they're really stuck. They have 0 exit. They commit so hard to this.
30.
Doubling down on the offensive push leaves them vulnerable and exposed. Will Gen G put up this wall?
ओमन
Well,
पावर।
Yes,
उन लोगों का बात
living
कर
up to that interview, right?
उसको पता नहीं वहाँ पे तो भी फर्स्ट पेल
How
फ्लैश
could
डाल
you
के
guys
रेस
win
पेल पिक करना
against me
चाहिए।
1v1 when you need all
पुलिस
5 to make
वाला
TS?
अल्ट वाला ये नहीं।
I'm already whole. I'm already 100% TS, he says, with that lone vandal. Saved over from the previous round and now tied up once again 11-11.
So guys, hit
It's
that
a
like and
head-to-head
subscribe button.
round
Thank
with
you.
rifles across the
Akshay.
board. Crucial ultimates ready as well, and Meteor.
अभी ये राउंड के लिए
Every
प्रिपेयर
time
नहीं
they
थे
needed a
सचल प्ले
crucial
के लिए।
win. Now,
लास्ट
Team
राउंड
Secret
एम कर
not
रहे थे उधर।
entirely ready for it, but they
Oh,
fish it
no.
out as soon as it happens.
They have to find
भाई
Gen
क्लियर
G.
कर रहे।
Surely, you use the same move, surely you sniff it out, but they don't.
One enemy remaining.
And what they do smell instead is near victory. 𝐵𝑜RKAM the only one left, an incendiary orbital strike, aggressive utility, but it's not
नेक्स्ट
that
राउंड
useful in
इन
these
लोग के पास
fights.
वाइपर अल्ट है,
Spike
मीटियोर का
drop,
भी
if
अल्ट अभी
anything,
अगर
he
और
could
ले
flush
लेता है या
them maybe
कुछ
out
कर
of
लेता तो
position.
आ जाएगा।
But that's not enough, Will, is
और
it?
ब्रीच अल्ट है।
No, and here's the thing, with the creds like yours, even keeping that one Molly alive for the next round is actually going to be so crucial. I mean,
तो
you just
बोलता
have to
अगर
accept the
मीटियोर
fact
होता
it's a
तो आजा और
1v4.
ले
I
ले भाई।
know, maybe it is finally 𝐵𝑜RKAM time, but it's still 4 members on the other side of Gen G. You also don't have the
Wait, where
spike.
is he going?
You're just trying to save. But there's so much time on the clock. Yeah, 𝐵𝑜RKAM, he just has to escape as far as possible, right? I mean, you don't have any other choice. Match point, you just have to accept that it's already happened.
अभी भी नहीं
You
उठा रहा,
cannot
बोलता मार के लूंगा
possibly
क्या?
try
30 seconds
to
left.
fight for this. These are not the times for heroics. We've seen some crazy moments.
लास्ट में लेगा
This is
एकदम।
not it, and I cannot
हाँ
fault
वो तो
𝐵𝑜RKAM
लग ही रहा है पर
for going
अभी भी
for
और
the
टैप करेगा
conservative
तो
choice here.
दे ही सकता है।
Every round just feels
सब क्लियर किया फिर
हाँ,
क्लियर
हाँ।
है।
like it's Team
सब
Secret
secure चाहिए
hanging
मुझे।
by a thread.
10 seconds left.
They won't have enough for a big buy and for a full buy. That crucial match point
तो
round.
सब कर
Will.
रहा मैं टीएस पे कर रहा था
हार
Gen
गए
G,
भाई।
on the other hand,
टीएस को ही तो कर रहे हैं हम लोग।
I don't know
वो
what
जेनजी
it
में भी
is.
तो
Might be
टीएस है
the
आईजीएल।
pressure, it might be the
टीम
stress.
सीक्रेट।
But Gen G
हाँ, वो
knows
भी है पर
exactly
हम लोग
how to
TS में कर
press
रहे हैं।
in and make it hurt. King just holding up. on
क्या
that
किया?
one
कल
box,
का
and
व्हाट्सएप
you were
बोल रहा है ना?
saying Jeremy has played that
तो मैं
position
बोला ना तेरे
before.
को कि पता
How
नहीं
did
मेरे को
that
कहाँ होने
happen?
वाला है
I mean,
सेकंड।
again, sure, that doesn't mean you suspect it
मुंबई
every
में होने वाला
time,
है।
but
What's
मुंबई में हो रही
as
वाला है
soon
तो
as that
मिलते हैं।
first kill happens, we're at least trying to create some angles where you're not both exposed, but
मिलेंगे ना मृदुल।
unfortunately, Team Secret not ready for it. Now an operator in hand of Meteor. It's match point in favor of Gen G. Trying to close this out 2-0. Team Secret, they've showed so much promise, but today,
टीडीएस तब
in the middle
लॉन्ग
of
रेंज
each
खोल
round,
सकते हो पर मैं तो
TS
बोलता
stays
तभी
one
यूज करो जब
step
तुम्हें वन
ahead.
टैप पे कॉन्फिडेंस है।
King continues to shut down any hope from Team Secret.
टैपिंग
Can they
स्किल्स अच्छे
take this
चाहिए
to an
उसके लिए।
overtime and a potential Lotus?
They're trying to.
दो लोग का आइडियास मैंने
They're gonna
बहुत
fight
स्ट्रांग
tooth and
दिखा है
nail,
कि
Will.
ये और एक है
I mean, they have
Bit
to.
of
क्रूज
a
क्रूज
boom bot
क्रूज
just to
CRWS
try to
हाँ
push
वो
the
आइडियास
positions
खोल
out.
के
They might
टपाटप
have
दिए
heard
जाते
that
हैं।
shrouded step, but I don't know if that's enough information. All 5 stacked up together, kind of like how DFM were last week, but you don't quite have the flash from Sky. What you do have is power factors away so much. Comes down to a bit of a gamble.
I mean, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, I don't think they have any interest in fighting this, right? You're going to try to spray for
Oh,
and he's still good for 1. He was just trying to buy time, and here's the showstopper. All hope is being lost for Team Secret to bring this back, and now comes down only to envy against all 5 members of 𝐺𝑒𝑛. He's good for 1, but that's all he gets as 𝐺𝑒𝑛 closes out
मुझे अच्छा लगा वो शो स्टॉपर लेके सैचल वैचल करके मुंह पे नहीं गया, 1 किल लेना है बस.
Victory as they continue their wins in VCT Pacific.
Bow down, peasants. It takes 5 of you to make 1 of me. And on my side, I've got Meteor, 𝐿𝙊𝐿𝑃,
क्या यही डिसिप्लिन अपने टीम में देखने मिलेगा? क्या पता?
An incredible lineup. And you know, this time both 𝐿𝐼𝑘 and 𝘆𝑉𝑖N playing the maps once again to victory on the side of 𝐺𝑒𝑛. And Team Secret, you see it in their faces. They're just not satisfied with any part of this. Because here's the thing, I mean, they were actually trying to take things that are so many different teams, they've shown so much promise about it. But today, when they were the ones trying to bait out 𝐺𝑒nG into wasting their utility, 𝐺𝑒nG said, nah, that's what we've been showing everyone here in the stadium. We don't buy into that. And then Team Secret, the mid-rounding starts to fall apart. They start to panic and they start to actually just go into these 1v1 games.
हाँ, मतलब एक kill लेके फटाफट transfer करके ऐसे tap.
But it's when you see these mid-rounds, you start to lack that spark of innovation. It just can't quite happen when you're under that much pressure, under that much stress. To try to pull a fast one on 𝐺𝑒nG. And that is why I think, even though this was seemingly so close, like you mentioned before, every single round it almost felt like Team Secret were continuously fighting for their lives.
Yeah, and I mean, they looked a lot more alive on France.
shadow ban क्या है रे भाई? इसको पढ़ा है ऋषि को बोल रहा है.
The way they were stringing together a couple, especially in that first half.
Shadow ban क्या है?
But at the end of the day, 𝐺𝑒nG, I think that entire squad and then their 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝑘 and TS, the coaching staff, what they want to tell Team Secret today is we've always stayed one step ahead of you.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
One extra timeout and then we'll catch right back up to you. We'll clean up the map.
next week.
They
Like,
use that
subscribe,
to their
so
advantage on both Haven
content आएगा
and
बीच में, don't
Fracture.
worry.
Now
Stay tuned,
𝐺𝑒nG
bye-bye guys,
continues their
have a good day.
victories, only dropping 1 map so far against DFM. They're now holding 3-0 match record in league play here at VCT Pacific.
Which puts them right up next to their rivals. Good old rivals of all time.
I mean, well, 𝐺𝑒nG likes to think themselves as rivals.
Sure.
I mean, you heard from Sax yesterday. He says, in my heart, sure, but my head says you guys aren't our rivals just yet. So we'll see if eventually they'll be able to prove themselves from 𝐺𝑒nG here. But
for now,
दोनों players use किए और जीते.
Right? They're saying, hey, we're
मजा
coming
आ
for you. DRX, watch out.
it is a good showing. These Tigers are bearing their fangs. And we are seeing that
𝐺𝑒nG
they
ने
have
सब
the
use करके
potential to fix
खेला ना.
those mistakes. We might have seen some weaknesses against
पहले में वो
those
सोआ
plays
था.
on DFM,
क्या नाम है उसका?
RRQ on Fracture.
हाँ.
But today they've kind of fixed it. They have fixed it.
Yeah, and you know, 𝐺𝑒nG, I think again showing why so many people had faith in them, right? In terms of just the support they have, the players they have, how they've grown actually individually throughout all their career so far. Meanwhile, in Team Secret, this is that moment where they can actually now, in the future, prove the same things that the 𝐺𝑒nG players have, right? Of, okay, you showed promise, you met a hard opponent, you got red, you showed your weaknesses. How do you recover from that in the coming weeks?
And that's where, again, you kind of want to go back to that drawing board. I think that's what 𝐺𝑒nG did after losing to DFM and, well, losing a few matches.
कप्पा में जाके सो रहा हूँ थोड़ा.
क्यों सो रहा है पाविन? मत सो यार, क्या करेगा सो के?
4-5 घंटा ही सोया हूँ कप्पा. कल 7 घंटा का ड्राइव किया है, 7-8 घंटा.
And it actually just gave them enough aggression to be able to fight back, whether it's A main, whether it's
User disconnected from the channel.
Smoke sometimes, and it all works out.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing, right? Is something that we mentioned when they were playing that Astra was, okay, well now you kind of have to always be body checking to get info. But now with the Omen, even if you do check, you have a way out with that shrouded step. And we saw that several times from TS where he's able to create another off angle, right? Buy a little more time for backup to arrive. Again, these small adjustments, the style itself hasn't changed for 𝐺𝑒nG. But it's just one agent change, a little bit of a style and timing difference, and they're able to stay ahead, keep that win streak in terms of match score here. And 𝐺𝑒nG, I mean, a lot of people saw a lot of hope at lock-in. They're continuing to deliver off of that.
It's looking to be very likely. I think they'll. Okay, maybe a little bit presumptuous, but I feel like they might be one of those teams that will definitely make it to playoffs.
Oh, to playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think
I wasn't going to go that far.
I thought you were about to say Masters Tokyo. I was like, well, hold your horses. I think playoffs, it's fairly safe, right? I mean, sure, they actually have a lot of their tough opponents still left in terms of just, overall tier list, but still a 3-0 record. I mean, you win at least one more match, you're probably getting into at least the top 6, and then you buy yourself more time in that double elimination format. So, Gen G, they're sitting strong. Meanwhile, Team Secret, again, they're not in any danger. But this has to be that match where they have to learn from it and prove to us that they can continue to evolve, that they didn't already hit their peak just yet.
Yeah, keep going that one step forward. Find those mistakes, keep on fixing them, and then maybe one day you'll be able to play right next to DRX. But still, Team Secret, I mean, today, maybe not the best showing, but they still show promise.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to that. Again, the setups and all that, the compositions, the initial calls, the defaults, those weren't exactly the biggest problems. But
Chalo guys, bye-bye. मैं भी जा रहा हूँ. खाना खा लेता हूँ.
The rest of Gen G start to
run laps around
you in the mid-round. We
Keep
started
supporting.
to see
Thank
the
you for
calling
tuning in.
and then the communication between the members
Bye
of
bye.
Team Secret break down, right? It starts to just go into duels.
Like,
if you just go into
subscribe.
duels, if you're not in prime condition that day, you just lose the round, right? That's just how an FPS works.
Yeah, we did see some duels with Envy, but